Leader of the free world.
I don't know. I don't know why you're hitting me. Like, stop it. Like,
please stop hitting me.
Please stop hitting me.
Like,
Please. Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on here. Just stop it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 16 of The Jam. It's JJ, AB, Allen, Matt, what? The way it always is.
The way it always is. Yes, sir.
Man, how are we doing?
Chilling.
Man.
It's been...
Okay.
That's your first word this week. Man, it's been 16 weeks and we still going. It's been an eventful few days. This week's episode has a lot of stuff in it, actually, even though it might be a quicker one. It's going to try to be a quicker one. No promises.
That's real.
Before we get started with anything, I'm not even going to...
Hold on.
Alan.
Why aren't they
sharing this video? Y'all think it's free labor? I've been saying this shit 16 weeks in a row. It's not free labor. Share this vid.
It's not free labor.
Where can they find us at, first of all?
Oh my God.
Man,
Matt,
they can find us on Spotify,
of course,
on Acast,
of course,
iHeartRadio,
of course,
on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Prime, on
Apple Podcast?
on iHeartRadio.
Did I already say it?
Did you say it?
No, hell no. iHeartRadio,
etc.
You can find us everywhere, man. Make sure you like, share the video. Press all the buttons, because why would you press all the buttons?
This is what I want y'all to do, right? Take your phone. As soon as you watch that video, just slap the screen. You're going to press all buttons.
Press everybody.
Please don't break your phone.
Yeah, don't break your phone, but you get it.
Some of y'all be hating, so don't hit your phone too hard. So it's been crazy. Last episode we talked about a lot. This episode we're going to be getting into everything from the election coming up in New York. What election in New York? Stay tuned. We got some lessons. I need to learn y'all some stuff about that. We're going to be talking about we're not going to get into that yet. That's the doom of the day. We're going to be talking about the tariff situation with Trump. All those keep going. Man, we can never.
Taco Man himself.
I think the last time we addressed his tariffs was like episode 5 or something.
Yeah, sure. It's been a little bit.
We got updates on that. We're going to be talking about y'all mentality when y'all men be going to the gym and that self-deprecating shit. What does that mean? You got to stay tuned. And then we'll be getting into the doom of the day that I almost said too early. The male loneliness epidemic.
So let's talk about it.
All of this is kind of going to weave together. We got some smoke. We got some informative stuff. We got some healing. All in store for y'all. But before we do anything, y'all not going to get me another week. It's the fucking fit check.
Fit check.
Fit check. Jam format.
What are we
Jam
talking
format?
about?
Okay.
Man, what you
If
got
we're going
on
to the
wax?
jam format
talking about?
first, oh my God, it's new shoes. I've been worn on set before.
Oh my God.
JJ has so many shoes. I just wear the same 4. But yeah, I got my gratitude. Man, with my jeans, you know what I'm saying? It's a champion shirt actually with the golf lang.
Golf lang.
And then that's pretty much it. The chain stack. Yes, sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
boy got the regular chain I've been wearing all 16 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Got a
I'm pretty sure that's a fact.
a regular back tee, but it got a graphic on the back. Don't want to get up.
W.
It got the Fashion Nova bomber jacket, dark blue and white. You feel
I like
me?
that
Got
blue
the
and white.
Hold on, let's see the watch.
watch?
Hold on.
Citizen.
Put that boy up.
Is the dial blue?
Yeah.
The
That's
Facebook.
crazy.
That's your blue
Match
fag.
the blue.
Okay, with the
Got dial to the T. You feel me? It got the ice cream sweatpants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, joggers on some shit.
Columbia 4s with the blue on the blue with the blue.
With the
You feel me?
Crazy.
I'm not gonna
Crazy.
lie. BBC gotta sponsor you because
Yeah.
you be wearing
Hit your boy up.
Debbie.
Bro, you already know we feeling. Same Tim, 16 weeks strong. Same pants, 13 weeks strong.
13
Got the Soho long sleeve.
Unreal. leak. When is it coming out?
Niggas ain't never getting this. But
We got to change that. You know what I mean? Royalty. Praise the.
You got the cut.
got the
Hell yeah, beamed up. Show the braids.
Stop playing. Hold on,
Beamed up.
earring.
Earrings.
Nah, I got the bubblegum pink joints.
The bubble
We
gum.
haven't seen them yet,
Yeah,
right?
these. What you doing? Yeah, I mean, got the Zohran pants, you know what I mean, with the Soho tee. That's why it's not up there.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
He done
If you
robbed
notice,
you. He done
if-
robbed
I don't know how much y'all pay attention to these setups, but there's a couple things missing. Comment
we-
below what's missing.
Yeah, comment
Yeah.
below what's missing, and you'll get a free prize.
Yeah,
You'll get something.
Yeah,
You're
Mike-
not getting it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You just gonna get some air, nigga.
He said that's right. You don't get nothing.
But, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on, JJ. What is on his?
But, you know,
Oh my
Wait,
God!
hold on. What did
Add
he
it up.
get?
Dad it up. Dad it up.
With
What
the
you
tat.
with the
Oh
tat?
my
yeah,
God.
the tat and it's got a little sticky. I just took it off.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get to get the symbolism. Y'all got a medium for
Yeah, I
that.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta meet
It's the,
Meet
but
and
nah,
greet. Oh,
realistically, it's, if you look at it, it's just the Heath Ledger Joker. It's the Heath Ledger Joker.
Legend Heath Ledger.
I got a damn Ace of Spade because my dog's name is Ace.
Oh,
That's
Bar,
hard, bro.
I mean.
He barring.
I got the ha 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 print on the top.
That's-
Nice dope as hell.
That's
Shout out
actually a
artist.
cold ass tattoo.
I love how the
Yeah.
stars of Chicago.
I think we
Yeah,
have-
then it fronted with like some
Yeah,
mountain
that's
stars.
hard as fuck.
I think we have to gatekeep the artist.
Yeah, gatekeep, because I'm going. I'm going.
Gatekeep the artist for sure.
But we got a jam-packed show for y'all. So let's get started. First of all, what has happened in our lives since the last time we was on this podcast?
Abel.
Man.
Abel.
Abel went to Abel.
So the jam in staggered days because we don't plan things correctly went to see the Weeknd. The Weeknd was in Chicago at Soldier Field.
Please give the context. So,
We gotta give it back.
Bro,
Gotta
so
get the context.
we were planning on going to Tao because it was an after party there. So
Tao's
Matt
club in
didn't.
Chicago.
Yeah, it's a nightclub in Chicago. If you don't know, well, Jesus. But so Matt was like, "Bro, I'm not going out." I'm like, "Bro, come out with us." He's like, "I'm not going out." But if we were going to the Weeknd concert, I'd go out. He's like, "Bro, I wish we was going because we weren't supposed to go." I'm like, "Bro,
we were sick that entire day because the tickets had been, we'd all seen the tickets like weeks prior. We were like, huh,
Expensive
the
as hell.
Weeknd has become like all of our favorite artists damn near.
Yeah.
So why don't we go to this concert? And then we looked and we waited and we waited and we waited. And then the day
And
rolled
then the
around and we're
day
like,
happened.
fuck, we're not going.
and not just the day, like an hour before."
no,
the
like
So-
20 minutes after it had already
The concert, usually those types of concerts start around like 7 or like 7:30, and then like the people come out, etc., all types of stuff, and then the Weeknd doesn't come out till like 8:30, whatever. We bought the tickets, I'm pretty sure, at like 7:20.
Yeah.
We weren't even. I was
Oh
in
my
shorts.
God.
Jay was playing MLB. Like Alan was in his PJs.
Yeah.
We all was like,
Buying it
chilling.
on
You know what?
everything.
Let's just go.
Yeah,
And then
and we
crazy.
just bought.
We bought the tickets, and then
Oh
so
my
we bought the
God.
tickets.
Yeah.
Everyone gets ready. We're like, "Bro, we're so hyped. We got the music playing, the Abyss, everything." We leave, right? And I'm like, "Hey, yo, Matt." I'm like, "Bro, it's processing, gang." While we're walking to Soldier Field,
We're
walking to
halfway to
Soldier
Soldier
Field.
Field, walking down the sidewalk.
still
He's like,
says processing.
bro, it says process.
processing.
Yeah.
Radio silence. We just murmuring, walking down the sidewalk.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We trying to act like it's not
The
happening.
morale went so low, bro. We were like,
We're like,
But this shit
we're
not
like,
gonna
there's no
work.
way we just paid all this money for these tickets and we're not even gonna fucking get it.
Yeah.
so essentially, they end up canceling it. We get there, we have to buy more tickets. We have to, because we had to split up at this point because it was none together. Ends up, I bought the wrong day for the tickets, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But-
So it turned out. Yeah. So what happened was, I didn't know that. I don't know how concerts work because this ended up being my first concert.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was a second night that the Weeknd was going to perform, and I also didn't know that there was going to be other talent at that concert. But
Lesson
so I'm
learned.
thinking this is the
Lesson
one
learned.
and only opportunity. He buys the tickets talking about pending. We're like, what the fuck? We realized, I think, right after we bought the second set of tickets, I was gonna have us like split because it was 4 of us. We were gonna be in twos. He's like, I think we realized when we got home or right then. He was like, yeah, I bought it for the wrong day.
No, I realized right then and there, and I whispered in my girl's ear, please take this to the grave.
Yeah, literally after that. I was like, please tell no one.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we ended up getting the tickets. Me and Matt ended up going in. Alan and his girl ended up going in, and then we each experienced the entire set list.
Amazing.
Nuts.
Ridiculous.
He played House of Balloons.
He played House of
2025.
If you don't know what House of Balloons is a song that he dropped
from his album,
from his debut album in 2011.
Yeah.
And he played that, bro.
That shit was crazy.
It was
man.
losing my mind.
losing.
And then, like, I was already, because it's all of our first concerts that we went to. So I'm already.
Donda.
Oh, yeah, you did go to Donda.
Damn.
Oh, so you support that.
Hey,
Oh,
you
you
support that.
Oh,
That's
the Jet. Donda, if y'all don't know what Donda is, Kanye's concert for his for the album.
Repent for your sin.
He don't
Repent.
He don't support that. He still didn't get the. He still didn't get the Vulture
He still
shirt.
ain't even get his shirt. Shopify holding my money for a meal.
It's been 3 years since I ordered that Vulture shirt.
He was in high school.
I was in high school when I ordered that Vulture shirt.
Still.
Oh man.
Still haven't seen
Still
that
haven't
Vulture
seen
shirt.
it.
Nuts.
But no, when I was there, I was already out of it. And when I was sitting there, there was a dude walking past me. And he recognized me from the pod. And I was like, because at first he was like, bro, you dope as hell. I'm like, oh, he must be talking about my fit. And he was like, no, I'll be watching shit. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
You want to know how
Yeah.
insane it was?
That's
He calls me on the phone, and mind you, this is the first time I've been in like Soldier Field in like years, and it's the first time I've been there for a concert, so I can't hear nothing. It's a million people.
That was making me.
This nigga calls me, and we were trying to coordinate with them to see where they were at. He, mommy. I'm like, I said, what are you saying? He's like, nigga, someone recognized me. I'm like, oh,
Bro,
That's exactly how.
Hey, that's real though. That's real though. In that crowd, bro, you can't hear shit.
Bro, we had such good seats. It was amazing.
We did.
Then this nigga Avy went.
Then okay, so they had their experience, right? I told him, I'm like, yeah, me and my girl, we going to the Weeknd concert on night 2, right? Whenever, for the people that are listening, if you're ever going to a concert, always go to night 2 because they do the best shit there every time. I get there.
Wait, was Cardi there too?
Yes, Cardi.
I'm
was
gonna
there.
lose it.
Cardi wasn't there.
Cardi was there.
he was there.
That's
Okay,
all we
yeah,
got.
okay.
Yeah, I was losing it, but the
Okay,
fact
so
that Cardi,
we sat like literally like damn near right up to the stage to the like the it's like a big stage and it's like a walkway that goes down to like another stage. We sat like right next to the big stage where he was standing like the majority of the time, so we get to see his damn like follicles and shit. It was crazy.
Seen that person in person, like looking right at him. It's crazy.
it's definitely.
Man, Cardi gets out, right? He's doing his set. The nigga's like engulfed in a cloud, so I could barely see him. I'm like, okay, cool. Literally 10 or 15 minutes into a set, all you hear is, I get those goosebumps. Nigga, Travis Scott runs out, bro. The whole crowd was like, yo, what the It was
That's
crazy.
crazy. I'd be losing my mind. I was losing my mind.
Context. Cause me and this nigga that morning, that day was the second day, and we couldn't go to the second day because his girl had to leave.
Yeah.
So that day, I go and I take her to the airport with him, and we're chilling. And when we're in the car on the way back to the airport, we're like, damn, Reflections Laughing has become like one of my favorite, like top 5 Weeknd songs in my opinion. And that's the one featuring Travis. So we're like, damn, it's a shame Travis wasn't there. Imagine he came out and starts performing with Reflections Laughing. Then I got the text of doom. I go on AB's Instagram story. Trav! I'm like, no! I'm like, you're bullshitting.
That's exactly how he said it. We're in the backseat of that Uber. He's looking at me like, and when JJ has these faces, and you know he's joking, it's either he's joking or we're fucked. It was the fucking one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, I'm like, bro, what happened? He shows me, all I hear is, Trav! I'm like, I took off my headphones, I was typing.
Nah, real.
But overall, it was a really cool experience.
Absolutely insane.
10 out of
man.
10, 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Bro,
11
30 out
it
of
was
10. That boy,
amazing.
he
Yeah.
performed He performed like the house balloon shit. He performed like his first ever song that he made. He performed some shit from like Kissland or whatever.
Yeah, he performed
the whole discography. I didn't even expect that.
Bro, I didn't think he loved Chicago.
It was the funniest thing because they've told me the lore about like how people perceive the Kissland album, which that's regarded as one of his worst ones. When he starts performing, I forgot what song it was. I think it was Kissland, the song when we were there. I'm like the only.
He was like the only one in our stage to sing. The only one,
Bro.
I fuck with it.
I was so tight with the House of Balloons shit because no one in our we were in the front, bro. Not a lot of people in the front was lit at all. Like when House of Balloons was coming, I was the only one singing. So my girls were like, and I'm like, I was so mad.
I was literally like the same as your girl, cause my girl, bro, she know damn near every song, like word for word, bar for bar. So when Kissland came, she, oh my God, I'm like, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
House of Balloons came on, me and JJ were losing. Because the whole time we were there, I was like, JJ, he plays Kissland, I'm going, or not Kissland. I was like, JJ, he plays House of Balloons, I'm going insane. I was like, he's not playing House of Balloons. We were saying he's not playing House of Balloons back when he announced the tour. We were like, yeah, but he's never performed House of Balloons ever again. So
nigga got to perform in that bit. Yeah.
Bro,
I was about to text these niggas. I was about to text these niggas, jump off that game.
It was crazy.
But definitely would recommend. I'm looking forward to going to another concert. The next
1000%
lineup. Kendrick. That's
Kendrick is next.
Kendrick, hell yeah.
But in other news besides the weekend, it's funny because Drake kind of dissed him with this. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to everybody.
Happy Pride Month.
W Pride Month. I made a video like yesterday about a lot of you weird ass niggas reactions.
Hell yeah, you did to the MLB.
Yeah, MLB did a little logo change, which they do. I noticed it last year. They did the same thing. It was the same reaction, and then they changed it like a few days later because it's a different holiday celebration in baseball. They did the same thing this year. Same reactions, like clockwork. You buy
It's like y'all don't get tired.
It's a rainbow
Every year.
If you're just DL, just say it.
Yeah, I'm out.
Y'all
We'll accept you, man. Like, come on,
bro, it's like y'all don't get tired every year.
Every year.
We know the month. Every single year we say the same shit.
Yeah.
I just don't, gang.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
It's not gonna make baseball go away,
Like,
Mike.
Because they're not going to talk about fucking housing policy, are they? So
No.
the gay people with the color. Like that's pretty much it.
Too many colors. Like, come on. Bro.
But yeah, no, that was a whole thing. Happy Pride Month to everybody out there. But less good news that we also got in the lead up to Pride Month and in a few days was I heard word around the block is that Trump was asked about like the concept of pardoning Diddy, and it stuck out to me because he didn't rule it off the table. And he's like, we got to take a look at it. We must
We gotta take a look.
Actually,
let's really talk about
how many pictures does he have with Diddy right now?
Diddy has.
He's such a good person.
I'm going to. Any of y'all could fact check. I'm going to put it over 5 pictures right now.
Over
5 unique locations, unique outfits, flicked up.
How many times his name on the Epstein list? Too?
The flight logs.
Yeah, the flight logs. Over under 5.
Diddy was
over.
16.
Over.
That interview you had played the other day where Diddy was talking about Trump gonna start a race war.
Yeah,
he gonna start a race war.
Bro, it was like they be so wishy-washy.
What was the thing that 50 was trying to say about that? Because they were like, "Oh, you talking too much," and Trump can't. He was. I don't know what
he
the
was
fuck
basically.
50's.
I think 50 was basically saying because that wasn't your. He basically telling Trump like, "Hey, Diddy not your homie? Don't pardon him." Not like, "Hey."
So he was just saying, don't pardon him because he's not your homie.
Yeah, bro,
don't pardon him because he's a fucking psychopath.
50 just be trolling. So 50 was like, Trump, he not even he don't even like you for real. And then reposted when Diddy was like, Trump gonna start a race war. Not the fact that like
I'm about to say out of all the things you could have got Diddy on to be like, hey, this is the person you shouldn't pardon.
Yeah.
Put the race war.
And that's the thing with 50 that like get me a little bit is like he genuinely, bro.
It's crazy, bro.
He genuinely like he'll make his stance on something, but he'll troll. So it almost be like you're playing the middle ground.
Yeah,
Because you trolling.
You're not really denouncing it. You just trolling.
You just
It's the
trolling.
same thing he did. That's the thing why I can't stand with him is that he'll do some political takes. He won't have a goddamn clue what he's talking about. He did the same thing about like there was like a program in New York that was giving migrants like $13 for
I
some
remember
lunch
that.
shit. And these
Oh
niggas was
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
cards.
they getting full paid credit cards and we can't even and he
Yeah.
reposted some shit like that.
Yeah, just it be
That, and
dumb
he was
shit,
like
bro.
on the like mayor of like New York because of like illegal immigrants or something. He was like on that.
Yeah,
And we're like,
which
what are you
and then we'll get into
Yeah.
his ass. I mentioned his ass later, Eric Adams.
Yeah, Eric Adams.
But hold-
He
got a
took
lot
that
of
whole
condoms
shit
too,
hook,
bro.
line, and sinker and was like, yeah, we got to get the migrants out of it.
But real shit though, I'm low key not even surprised that he even said, "Well, I mean, we'll look into pardoning Diddy," because it's like,
because
bro, they got similarities.
Predators,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
protect predators.
Birds of a feather.
Flock
the
together.
fucking
Like, what the fuck are we
like
talking
that,
about?
and they're
Yeah,
both
some
like,
similarities.
they're both druggies. Speaking of drugs,
Yeah, like, what are
He
we
talking about grabbing them by the
Yeah,
What?
like, yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, we understand why you're in the Diddy syndicate.
Yeah, we understand why this
Diddy
your
gang
homie.
Yeah, y'all can both get
Talk
under
about
the
fucking partners.
jail.
You need a
Speaking
partner.
of druggies.
I was gonna say you need a partner. You know my mom.
All them
sent me
drugs, Elon was getting.
you know my mom-
You need him a pardon.
this- You know my mom. sent me
Pardon
this-
back to reality.
What your
nigga.
mom
My
said?
mom sent me the thing about Elon and was like, "Oh, he's a demon." And I said, "No, mom, he's on ketamine."
no, it's ketamine, Mom.
And then the New York
Buddy, come
Times, and then the New York Times backed up Matt's testimony, dropping a bombshell where they go in depth into like his alleged drug use
Yeah.
around the time he got involved in the government. Yeah,
Bullshit.
It
Walking
was
in the
bad.
What was he
Oval
on?
Office,
That nigga,
high as shit with
High
black
as-
eyes.
with a black
Yeah.
eye.
Got his
Nigga got
ass
curved.
beat by Stephen Miller.
Nigga Stephen Miller curb stomped this nigga before he got in the Oval Office.
Mine Stephen Miller looked like a damn bowling pin, and he was in there molly-whopping, fucking
Whooping his
Elon
ass.
Musk, leader of the free world.
I don't know. I don't know why you're hitting me. Like, nigga, stop it. Like,
Please stop hitting me.
please stop hitting me.
Like-
Please.
Oh my god!
I don't know what's going on here.
That
Just
nigga.
stop it.
I don't know. I don't really.
I just like to
Shut the
picture-
fuck up.
I like to picture like the reality in which like Elon approached Stephen Miller like Shorty backstage at like the Oval Office
Bro.
and tried to offer him some weird ass bribe and then bro
Whooped his ass.
and then sent him out there in
his
front of
ass.
the camera to stand next to
And now, and
my
now,
son hit me.
man,
He said his son
your
hit
son
him?
ain't do that
If
shit.
Which
your
one?
son blacked your eye like that, nigga, put that nigga in box.
His son, nigga, the
Bullshit.
number
If it-
X6.
XI662.
Nigga, the iPhone
That's
SE knocked this nigga out. This nigga got a chip in his shit.
Yo, nigga, knock that nigga brain chip loose.
I forgot he put that shit in his brain.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he
I know
put
he
like
wants to put
a
chips
chip
in
or
everyone
some
else's
shit.
brain.
Damn.
And then after that, did y'all I think y'all seen that I think you trying to take Stephen Miller girl now.
Yeah, because I heard word around the street is these niggas move bookie. Mind you, if any nigga did this, it's cooked. But
Yeah.
Elon has all them damn kids because he be like paying women to like
just
have
have
his
kids,
so he
yeah.
can like populate the world or some shit. So they said
Have a
that
bunch of
Stephen Miller,
Roman numerals
Stephen
running
Miller,
around.
wife or partner or something left like the administration. It's like left government and is working full time with Elon like at Tesla.
Full time is crazy.
Right.
Now you got
Mind you, this is
I
after
ain't gonna lie,
Tesla
he getting
stocked
bread.
and went in the toilet, so
He
it's not like
getting-
you're going to a good company.
I ain't gonna lie,
You gotta go for the second eye, nigga. You gotta go for the second eye.
Ain't that our ball?
That's my ball.
Ref timeout.
Oh, but yeah. So
crazy.
they having some weird ass happenings in the government like usual. All them niggas weird, and it doesn't stop with the. It's not like Trump is above all this shit. He's like the source of weird shit.
Yeah.
He's also still a bitch.
Yes.
So what happened?
1000%.
What happened with the tariffs? He's still a bitch.
Still a bitch.
Mr. Taco Man himself. Can somebody tell me what the taco acronym stands for?
They said the taco acronym stand for Trump always chickens out because he doesn't.
We referring to that man as Taco Man.
Every time I hear that taco shit, I always think of that one nigga that was banging that hard shell on the news.
that
Yeah,
dude,
I
man.
can't get that out of my head.
I forget what his
We
name
gotta
is.
do better with these names.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We
I'm
do.
gonna keep it a bit.
Before we get into Taco Man, hey man, okay, I get it. if it was like
Here go the red hats again. Here go the
Yeah, if it was like pink
pink
yeah, here come the signs, nigga. If it was Mitt Romney and you like oven mitt, then yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
This nigga,
Oh shit! Hold on, this nigga just cooked right there.
this nigga is literally cutting like, and we're over here talking about taco.
This nigga just said he's going to pardon Diddy. We're calling him Taco. All right, nigga.
We're calling it taco.
Done for.
Done for.
Done for.
Like,
But what did the
Tell
taco,
us about
All
it,
right,
baby, please.
Taco Man. Let's do a timeline, right?
let's fucking
Let's
go
go.
taco.
Let's go taco. That's great.
That
their
actually a bag at a
corniness
rally.
needs to be studied. I've never seen no shit
I
like
guess
that.
corniness,
this
like a
is the response to Let's Go Brandon. So
Yeah.
W. So let's do a brief timeline of these tariffs. Right in February 2025. That's when
the JAAM launched.
That's when the JAAM launched. But that's when the trade war started too.
Fucked
everything up.
Liberated.
So President Trump signed an executive order that Saturday imposing 25% tariff tax on imports from countries like Canada and Mexico and China, right? And I don't think if y'all remember, but what did Canada do? Did they like? I think they said they were gonna raise the tariffs on something that was already that same thing, and it kind of like tricked Trump into taking the whole shit down or something like that.
I know that they had
might have been the
initially-
electricity.
They had initially
Yeah.
said that they were gonna like help on the border with some bullshit that they were already doing, and then they were like they're gonna raise the fuck out of tariffs on like electricity, and then also got rid of like all the liquor that they're the number one buyer for.
Yeah.
So Trump and them was sitting there.
Trump was like,
Wait. And then
Hold on.
Taco 1 happened.
hold on.
Taco one.
Taco one.
Who the fuck out of there?
He said it. Then 3 days later, he paused the tariffs. He said, "Oh shit, I can't do this." Paused the tariffs, right?
What?
March 2025. He said, "Fuck that. I'm putting 10% reciprocal tariffs on every country,
he
even the
bought
fucking
it.
penguin."
Even the fucking
that-
penguin,
even
he
the
bought
penguin.
it.
Even the penguin.
See, because now we're gonna start building iPhones here and shit.
Yeah.
Pay like 7 bands for a fucking iPhone 16.
Yeah.
Like no.
Buy your iPhone with them labor laws attached to it.
Nice.
30 bands on iPhone.
3,000.
Do you think
200
anybody
for a
in this
charger.
country is gonna work for $2 an hour to do that?
No. No.
Hell no.
It's unethical.
Yeah.
but
be
be
even
realistic
then,
now.
That's why the whole thing was dumb
why
off
we
bat,
had it.
because they try to act like you're gonna bring back iPhone manufacturing.
Yeah.
What
we need
American
infrastructure
is gonna
first.
yeah,
What are we
exactly.
talking about?
Exactly.
But
All
so
right.
he puts them in. He's like, oh, that nigga 10 for everybody.
Yep.
Let's hear Taco 2 though.
And then Taco Man decides to do an additional 25% tariff on cars and car parts in the U.S.
So he added like some salsa verde.
Yep. Salsa verde, you know what I'm saying? And here go the lettuce. Liquidation day.
Oh, okay. Liquidation
Day, right? The president announced a 10% minimum tariff to apply to all goods around the country. And then he added a fat ass tariff on China, which was, I think, 125%. And then he paused the other tariffs for the other countries for 90 days because he was like, wait,
Okay.
it's a lot of tariffs going around.
A lot of shit
Okay.
going
A
around.
a lot of shit going around.
What are we
the
on? Taco
onions,
fucking
yeah,
10?
the onions are diced.
Yeah.
The
Onions are diced.
cilantro's out.
I think after that,
You
he
know what I'm
burned the
saying?
fucking
He's
shell.
still forming the meat and shit. Right?
Yeah, and then what happened?
Then what happened, bro?
This nigga, right?
Cooked.
I hate this nigga. Stock market crashed.
Stock market crash.
Boom, gone.
Cooked.
Nigga, I opened my
401k.
laptop. Cooked. Little old
Right.
Susie saving up 50 bands her whole life. Gone.
You know what
just
the-
like that.
I want to say this really quick though. It always is hilarious to me when I always see people go back to like the 401k and shit, and like thinking that that's actually in a way it helps you, but in a way like it also is another like sense of companies fucking you over,
Right.
because you're already supposed to have equity. Anything you put your work into, you usually have some form of equity in it. They allow you to get into it. They pay you way less, and then say, "Yeah, well, we got
go,
these
you little
stocks for you."
present.
Then you can vest them.
Take it
Fucking
away.
all of it. Your whole work, all of it.
You're all retired.
Like,
Oh,
Because this
my
nigga want to
God.
try some shit.
nut.
Yep.
Nigga, I remember that day I opened up my PC, went to the MSNBC shit, Dow everything.
Down.
Red.
I went to my portfolio. Fraud.
Nigga, you know how
Done.
many people that day I've seen people with Nokias making videos. We gonna get rich off this. You dumbass.
Recession indicator.
Right.
Yeah, recession indicator. So that was
Hell.
Taco like 6 or something.
Yeah, Taco 6. Here goes Taco 7. Then China was like, okay, you hitting us with 125, 145. We gonna hit y'all with 145% tariff. Know
Bang
what I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah.
Bang out. Know what I'm saying? They said we don't really need the U.S. We've been surviving for like 500 years without these niggas.
Real.
said we
It's
don't
okay.
care.
We good. Here go Trump. 245%.
Fuck.
I'm like, oh.
He was like, that'll get him to back down.
That'll get him stop it.
Meanwhile, look at the market.
He's
Crashing.
going.
Now, would you fucking believe, right? After all this bullshit that we done went through, stock market going down, everybody's 401k crashing, everybody looking like, what the fuck going on, right?
Republicans
The sigh of hell.
The U.S.
Doom.
Court of International Trade gave an executive branch up to 10 days to complete the process of halting some of the president's steep tariffs, blocking the president from imposing some of the steepest tariffs on China and other U.S. trade partners, finding the federal law did not grant him unbounded authority to tax imports from nearly every country around the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because,
So-
Congress is supposed to be involved this whole time.
Yeah, like
He didn't.
what do
He
we-
didn't. He's just writing on
just
executive
writing
order.
shit.
I want
Writing
us to
shit.
never
Just doing
forget about this administration because they'll gaslight to you when it's over. That pretty much we've broken so many laws that it's like a daily
Yeah.
occurrence.
No, literally.
It's actually a
There's
daily.
When I was-
for
For no
that
reason.
could get started. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
When I was researching this shit, I was typing it in like tariffs or whatever. Nigga, I see 2 links from the White House, like the website, the White House talking about a grand trade day. We what did he say? He was like we beat all the countries in like tariffs or something. It was weird.
all the countries.
It was, bro. It was.
tariffs.
He was making it seem like they got the victory in this tariff war, and I'm like, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
You just said all this bullshit, crashed the
market.
market.
You just got your shit stopped.
Yeah, you got your shit
operation
stopped.
Mind you,
Fuck are you
and
talking
you,
about?
I forgot because we didn't. Just to remind people, the logic behind it, they were saying, well, that's because we're running a trade deficit with every other country, and they need to owe us. Yes,
my
you dumbass
goodness.
nigga, because we kind of have the world
have
currency. So Sweden is not going to give us back equivalent value when they're using our currency. You
That's
dumbass.
like that 50-50 conversation that I be hating with
Yeah.
these niggas, right? Is because okay, I make a certain amount of money. My girl makes a certain amount of money. Why the fuck would I ask her for 50% of what she has? That's not even gonna equivalent to what I'm making.
It's completely 2 different things.
Two
That
different
trade
things. It's like
deficit,
her
they-
50 is not my 50.
Yeah, it's completely different things. And like JJ said, it we're the world power.
Yeah.
How the fuck is
How can you-
how
Yeah.
how you know the
It's
same way the same way we
Penguins don't
don't
give us all they shit.
the same way
Yeah.
we don't give China, we don't make as many things for China as they do for us.
I
Yeah.
seen a
fuck
This
creator.
whole this whole podcast room is China right now.
Most
Bro,
of this shit
that's
here
why
is
it's
China.
not even valid, bro. You just tried to have everyone bend the knee.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one can give you what we give
Yeah,
y'all.
I seen a creator put in perspective. It's like, yes, and we all run a trade deficit with Walmart.
Yeah.
Because
we do
what
that.
are you
What do you
producing to give to
offer to
Walmart?
Walmart?
No, you just go there and you get your shit.
Yeah.
And that's the only way all of you can sit on your lily white butts on your couches and enjoy your fucking cocoa melon. Like, oh my God. Like, sit the fuck enjoy
Some fucking
tacos.
crazy shit, man.
10% on everything. 10%. Niggas just slamming shit down in that office.
Just
nigga.
breaking shit.
It was 200
right
and
as
what?
shit.
Huh?
It was
245.
245.
That
On Jesus, Trump couldn't count to 240. On Jesus.
neither
Bullshit.
could Elon.
Hell no, nigga, eye black. He can't see shit. Look at
All
that.
that damn cocaine.
So, legend.
Alleged.
He denies the allegation.
In today's news, though, Trump's 50% tariff on foreign steel and aluminum took into effect. And then California is actually feeling the effects of these tariffs already. So, like, the ports and shit. Damn
Yeah,
empty.
ports are empty as fuck.
Oh,
Damn
yeah.
empty.
Empty as
So,
shit.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
as a result of the
niggas might
would've
not feel
thunk it?
niggas might not feel the tariffs now, but later on,
Give it
like,
like 2 weeks.
you like
people
you're
been
going to
feeling it.
feel it.
People,
Yeah.
people been feeling
people
it.
been feeling it, and then the reason why
It
the
just
stock
depends on
market,
what region
the
you're
reason
in.
why the stock market's been so weak is because the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Of, like, is it going to be a tariff and everything's going to cost double, or is he going to pull out again and be a
Right.
taco? Which I mean, he is.
Taco Man, Randy Savage.
I mean,
Yeah.
JJ
I seen
was
this.
saying.
I seen this one video, right? This lady, I guess she ordered some like designer shit from a store, and when it got to her, but then they had to like take it back because the tariffs hit. So then they left her with like a $1,500 bill from UPS.
You not taking shit back.
She said,
It already came. You're going to have to shoot me about it. And you're not getting this back.
$1,500 bill.
What?
It was a terrible hell.
Shit back.
Like what? No.
My mother.
I wish I would.
I don't think the package like got to her yet. It was like on the
Like
verge of
in
getting to her.
the shipping
And it was
facility
like, if you
or
want to
something.
get it, you're gonna have to pay this $1,500.
Take that
like,
shit.
Take
Fuck
They
that.
can take that shit back.
I don't care what
You
it
have
was.
it.
You got it.
$1,500 my
I-
ass.
Man.
Hell
Shit
no.
is crazy though.
Yeah.
It's honest. It's honestly so funny. I still don't fuck with the taco thing because in
it's
this
corny,
grand
but-
scheme of things, like taco.
Yeah.
Okay, we have no fucking.
You should have stronger words.
Like we don't
No
have
Medicaid.
the big
Taco,
beautiful
man.
taco.
It's so funny, like when he first started putting tariffs, because I remember people in the comments was like, "Bro, just wait, bro, just wait.
It's
gang.
gonna hit, bro.
It's gonna hit.
You gonna take it.
You gonna make a lot of money off
You
it.
gonna do it." This nigga just
I'm
said ports
fucking
are
poor.
empty.
Ports are empty.
Ports are empty.
Yeah, so back at it again with the whole, agenda kind of not being for people.
Yeah.
Just being for rich people, like
Yeah.
always. The thing that's so infuriating about niggas like Trump and that entire circle is that, like, we now are in a political era where you have to watch everybody, right? And you got to watch everybody who's even around them, regardless of the party line, because there are some niggas there's some niggas with a D next to their name that be moving real shiesty up there with him, and those people are the reason why
both sides.
we're gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't get out the way, because that's not people that we need to have leading right now. That's people who are going to who are enabling the rise of fascism. So I wanted to point out an example of this because there was something that I really wanted to focus on. And in the process, I'm gonna give a shout out to New York because, well, I know y'all going through it. The Knicks got
royally.
they got their shit kicked in.
Dang,
Wait, what happened?
Tyrese Halliburton and
the
them.
Pacers
Oh yeah.
bounced them, and now the Pacers are in the
Spike Lee
finals.
shitty.
So, so yeah, it's
Like,
been
we've
a
sitting on that front court for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
Like,
Spike Lee got that cam in front
I
of
can't
his
believe
Spike
Movie.
Lee, man.
yeah,
You got that movie with Denzel, and
Denzel.
A$AP Rocky.
Oh yeah, that's his
Denzel
movie.
Rocky,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Highest to lowest.
Yes,
Like
Highest
that?
to
I've been
They
seeing a
premiered
couple
that
behind the scenes shots of it that they've been doing, so that's gonna be
premiere
fire.
They premiered it at I don't know how to pronounce it. It was that French
Oh, the
festival.
Cannes.
Yeah, the Cannes shit. They
Film
premiered it
festival?
there. Yeah,
Shit, damn.
and then I think it's coming out like next year or something.
All right.
Looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, so big shout out New
Lee,
York,
New York.
but yeah, and also Timothy. We don't get to see Timothy Chalamet be.
Oh yeah, my dog Timmy.
You need to lock in for Dune anyway.
Yeah, true.
All right. You done had your intermission.
had your fun. Lock
Take
it.
your chrome off
Okay.
and get in that suit.
But I wanted to get into the political side because it's some big shit happening in New York. New York has a mayor's race that's going on, right? And I actually, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've been wanting to talk about it for a minute, and I actually have. It's probably not true nowadays, but my analytics was telling me I have more followers from New York than like Chicago,
Same.
or like I think it's my number
Literally
It's
two.
probably
Yeah.
true. Honestly, it's probably
Yeah,
true. You gotta
because-
think population.
And it's right there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not on the West Coast, so yeah, it's probably makes sense. So
It makes sense.
I got a whole like 5 to 10% of my following from New York. So
Like
W.
ridiculous.
if you're black and you happen to be of voting age in New York, you need to listen to everything I'm about to say for the rest of this
Real.
segment
Yeah.
on Jesus. So I wanted to dive into the election that's coming up because it is actually very fucking interesting. So there's a candidate that I really fuck with. That I'm pretty sure y'all fuck with too once you see him talk. His name is Zohran Mamdani. He's from what country is he from? Or at least he's his ethnicity because
Let me look it up.
he got his American citizenship recently. I'm finna look
Yeah,
up
no,
his
no,
name.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Zohran Mamdani. A-M. Okay, yeah.
He
Ethnicity.
is-
It is
I forget what African country it is.
Uganda.
Yeah, it's Uganda. He was born in
Uganda-born
Uganda.
American politician.
Raised in New York. I believe he's Muslim as well. He is super progressive. He's a democratic socialist, and he is running for mayor in New York City. And he,
over Eric now.
So Eric Adams is running as well, but he's no longer running as a Democrat. Eric Adams
Of course.
He switched.
He switched.
no, he didn't switch to Republican. He went independent, and I'll explain why. I'll
okay.
explain why.
Explain it.
So what ended up happening, right, is there's a big primary thing happening. All the Democrats are lining up to see who's going to be the Democrat that's chosen as the candidate. And before we get in, I do want to give a quick introduction. Zohran is running on things like universal child care. He wants to make the buses in New York City free, like to use, and he wants to do like he wants to do a bunch of stuff. And it speaks to like, it's really refreshing to see his political positions. I wanted to do the first clip of him talking briefly about his shit, because a lot of people will say, oh, those ideas sound utopian. A lot of Democrats right now, oh shit, wait. A lot of Democrats right now don't even want to adopt like policies that everyone's asking for, because
Right.
you think that you're going to get us out of this crisis without having a vision for the future. But
Sounds utopian. You want to know what sounds dystopian? The fact that a 2-bedroom in New York is $8,000 fucking.
Exactly.
What the
He's
fuck
also
are you
running.
See the shit that Speedy Mormon?
Yes. I
Yes,
saw
Speedy
it.
was
Tell
just
me about
on,
that. What are
and
you
he was
talking about?
Speedy was just he's looking. I guess he might be looking for an apartment for himself or something. But he was looking. He was in a New York City apartment. It was $7,000 a month, and it had
like no kitchen.
It had like
No counter spaces.
Yeah, like
No-
there.
Fuck no.
Bro, they
barely
put
counter
rooms
space.
for $6,000.
Like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it sounds utopian and that we can't afford it. XYZ
So-
when niggas are charging $8,000 for shit
Exactly.
boxes. Stop it.
So along
what
with
the hell?
the other stuff I mentioned, he's also, his biggest thing that he's running for is freezing the rent. Because there's a lot of rent control. There's a lot of rent controlled housing in New York, because New York is like the epicenter of the country. So there's always going to be demand to live in a place like New York.
Yeah.
So if the government does nothing and allows private companies to just charge whatever they want for
continue to
rent,
go up.
that's how you get 6 bands for a shoebox.
Yeah.
And there is no regulation. So
What do you mean freezing the rent?
so I believe I don't know the exact specifics, but I know the mayor has control over like about 2 million, I think, like residents in New York City, how much they pay for rent, and they can initiate like a freeze on the rent if the board decides to hike rents again, because there are certain areas where the government has that intervention just to make sure that people don't get priced out and gentrified.
Yeah.
I seen a video on TikTok the other day. It was like recorded a part of New York City, obviously black, brown, diverse, or whatever. Then within a couple
Oh,
of years,
Brooklyn.
I think it was Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
In a couple years, they seen the same area. It was a
Completely
lot
gentrified.
of white people there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Brooklyn looks completely different than like early 2000s, but like going even
even
like
Harlem
90s
got
and shit like
gentrified.
that.
Like shit.
yeah.
I said, even Harlem got gentrified.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
and the people themselves being there might not be like a problem or bad people, but the thing is, when the prices go up, then you get the tourists
everybody
and
else
people
gets
who can
priced
afford
out,
to
yeah.
live there, and the people
Exactly.
who grew up there get priced the fuck out.
That's such a good thing, because going back to what you were saying, like how they're saying it's like utopian ideals, I think that's nothing but just conforming to capitalism. When like
Yes.
actuality, you could just have
Talk about
someone like this and make the change for it.
So, and people will ask, well, how are we gonna? They always ask how you gonna pay for it when it's the fucking
I'm
healthcare,
so
but it's
tired
not when
of
it's the
fucking
tax.
how we're gonna
So-
pay for it. Trump is making fucking golf courses in the fucking front lawn of the White House.
Yeah.
How we gonna pay for
Fuck
it?
are you talking about? How we gonna pay for it?
So he gets asked that question, and I really liked his response to like, and he really lays out his policies. I wanted to show y'all that.
All right, let's hear it.
W.
To that end, you've proposed city-run grocery stores, fare-free public transit. Supporters certainly say that your plans are bold, but your critics call them unrealistic. How do you plan to fund these ideas without driving away business or middle-class taxpayers?
So let's take these 2 examples. A network of municipal-run grocery stores, 1 in each borough, so 5 in total, would cost the city $60 million. The city is already set to spend more than $140 million subsidizing corporate supermarket chains without any guarantee of affordability from that subsidy. So this is less than half of what we're already set to spend. When it comes to fare-free buses, the cost of that is about $700 million a year. That's in the context of a city budget of $115 billion, a state budget of $252 billion. And what we've put forward is a plan to raise $10 billion a year that would make those buses free, pay for universal childcare, and give us the fiscal flexibility to Trump-proof our city by raising taxes on the most profitable corporations in the state to match that of New Jersey's top corporate tax rate, 11.5%, and by raising taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make $1 million a year or more by a flat 2% increase, just $20,000, which for someone making $1 million is more like a rounding error.
That's fuck.
That's
refreshing as fuck to hear.
actually
It makes all
amazing.
sense.
Yes, that's refreshing as fuck.
Yes.
You could accomplish something because there's so
You can
much.
accomplish so much.
The thing that they need to, that people need to start understanding, is that there's so much wealth stratified amongst the very wealthy in this country that all it takes is taking a little bit from that pool, and you could fund a lot of different creative social programs.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
go
also
ahead.
too, sorry to cut you off. I think a big thing with that is the big step is that will lead into putting more regulation in companies like that.
Yeah, and
control
more-
everything.
Also,
It
that's
will
an
stop the
example.
price gouging and shit.
That's
yeah.
an example for states in that aspect because they're going to see New York do it, and then you have a state like
Exactly.
Chicago with a governor like J.B.
cities-
Pritzker
yeah.
or something like that. That's the steps we need to take so that
Yeah.
other states can follow suit.
And also, a lot of people will talk about that's why she asked about driving away corporations. They'll do the whole corporate flight bullshit.
They're
which is
not
the theory
leaving
that
New York.
If you raise the
Fuck
taxes
outta
too high, it's New York. They're not going to leave.
They're not
And
leaving New
also,
York.
And also, his plan would raise it to the level of New Jersey, which is right next door, and that's 11%. Y'all be ducking and dodging, don't even want to pay that. It's 11 fucking
Yeah.
percent. You'll have billions of dollars.
And he even made it like we got to really talk about. We were just watching the shit the other day. Gang, there's housing in New York that right now is on the market for over $60 million. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
This is not like
Yeah.
some city that can't. No, bro, they can afford this.
They can afford this
They
shit.
can
and
afford this
there's-
shit. They have the money. They have the billionaires. They have the stop.
Yeah, and they have a
Tax
lot
all
of
these
vacant
niggas.
housing as well.
Exactly.
So,
Tax all these niggas.
yeah.
Yep.
So good news about this. There is a poll. So originally he was down hella, maybe 20, 30 points as of March, April. The race has very quickly narrowed. They did a couple polls that had came out. Let me pull up one that I have on my computer right now. So they do ranked choice voting. I remember I briefly mentioned this on an episode before. Basically what it is that since it's a primary, it's a Democratic primary, it's all the candidates who want to be the nominee. So when you go in to vote, you can rank who you want first and then second, third, XYZ. And as the rounds go, the people who get the least amount of votes fall off the ballot. And then their voters go to whoever their second choice was. So it was a 20, 30 point gap. By the time you get everyone else off the ballot, Cuomo, who's the other, we'll get into him, Andrew Cuomo.
Oh my God.
He's leading at 54%. And Mamdani is at 45.6%. So he's closed that gap to 9 points.
Okay.
And the election is on June 24th.
Oh, we got time.
Oh,
we just
We
gotta
do
push
have
it. We gotta
time.
push the shit out of
We're
it.
still waiting. They said that last time AOC made a mayoral endorsement, it was on June 4th, which is today. So we're waiting on her endorsement because her endorsement would really shake things up. Considering
we
she
need
is
that. We need that.
we need that AOC endorsement. So everyone's been waiting very anxiously on that. But the race has narrowed up, and this has gotten some people fucking scared. My thing that I'm scared about is my black people, which is why I'm telling y'all, and which is why I'm talking to y'all, especially the ones in New York. Because these people, with Andrew Cuomo and everything, will lie to you. And they will use black fears of all types of shit like crime to perpetuate their own power. And what I mean by that is so there's so much shit that ends up going on. So just to get a perspective on who Eric Adams is and Andrew Cuomo is and everything. Eric Adams was already the mayor of New York City. And why is he running independent now? So I put this part in the notes, imposters among us, because we were just talking about Trump and them, and you have to really watch closely for who you're still giving that avenue to Trump for by supporting them. So Eric Adams was indicted in September and was accused of receiving more than $100,000 worth of free plane tickets and luxury hotels stays from wealthy Turkish nationals for nearly a decade while he was in local government. So that just
Nuts.
over
Just
corruption.
bullshitting.
Yeah.
The indictment said that in return for free airfare and hospitality, Adams used his position in local government to carry out favors. Notably, prosecutors accused him of pressuring the New York Fire Department to allow a Turkish consulate building to open in 2021, despite legitimate safety concerns. So there was safety concerns with the building. It wasn't up to code, wasn't up to par, and apparently he allegedly used his position as mayor to pressure the fire department to let him do it anyway because they had given him all that bread, allegedly. Adams denied the wrongdoing. He got prosecuted. He got he was charged with that corruption, bribery, all types of stuff, and then the charges were dropped without prejudice from the Trump Department of Justice. And when it's dropped without prejudice, that means that they can relitigate it at any point. So now they can hold that over his head. They dropped the charges now, but they can charge his ass again. Yes. So now if Eric Adams wins,
so you're a puppet.
if Eric Adams wins the election, he is now immediately at behest to that Department of Justice.
But he's a black man. So that's why we're talking to you black people.
Yeah, that's
Talking
why
black people. Please don't see Eric Adams and think, well,
the reason why I'm talking to y'all is because we have to stop falling for the double agent. He was also a cop. And that goes into why he was super heavy pro-police. He also has, like, weird allegations against him, like sexual assault stuff, too. Weird-ass nigga, just like Trump and them. Andrew Cuomo is not fucking better. Andrew Cuomo should be a familiar name because Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York back around like COVID time.
His brother's Chris
Cuomo, the one who was on like CNN hella before. I don't know if y'all.
I know
that white guy.
Yeah, the white dude. Yeah.
So his brother's was on.
He be
CNN.
like mediating shit all the time.
Yeah,
right?
he dipped out now. He doesn't work there anymore. He has his own show and he's kind of doing like.
Is he on like News Nation or some shit?
Is he? Yeah, he's on News Nation. And he's doing this whole the left went too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying W because like knew, but
because Andrew Cuomo is running, he's trying to like support. So disappointing. But so Andrew Cuomo is not much better at all. Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York up until like 2021, and originally people were praising him because he was responding to COVID well, and then there was a big like scandal about like nursing home beds and his role, like some testimony that he gave to Congress. It was some fucked up shit he was getting investigated for. And then in 2021, he had to step down. He resigned his position of governor because he got a bunch of sexual harassment allegations.
Jesus,
Yo,
all of these are just from who?
weird.
From 11 different women. Yeah. So there's a timeline.
Are they all allegations?
I have a he was never officially prosecuted by Letitia James, who's the DA in New York. But he stepped down and stepped aside because of all that or whatever. And I have a timeline here. It's from ABC 7 Eyewitness News. It just goes with the date and time. Like, then this woman came out. The next day, this one came. 11.
11.
Yeah. So
11 is like,
you did. So again. If it was one and he didn't get prosecuted, maybe 11 is a little wicked.
Like all the DDG brains, all the Cassie brains.
It's just 11 lies.
What you gonna say when
11.
11 is wicked.
11
is wicked. Gang.
So he denied the accusations, obviously, and then more women kept coming out. He stepped aside from that, and then he kind of like faded into the background for a little bit, but he's back now. Because
they always do come back.
Yeah, they always do come back. And on top of that, besides just that shit, he's also had a lot of corruption shit in his own way. I actually screenshotted some shit that I'm pulling up on my photos because he basically he's been working with a lot of billionaires and a lot of like a lot of everyone from like corporate establishment Democrats to billionaires to Republicans have been pouring in behind Andrew Cuomo. Mind you, the nigga who had 11 fucking allegations of sexual assault. But they're backing him. There was a super PAC that was basically they do this thing with like matching funds, how they do like campaign donation stuff in New York, and the elections board denied Andrew Cuomo his money, which was like 1.something million in funds, because it was found that he might have been colluding with this fucking super PAC, which is just an organization that could just funnel the nigga money to get him to win. They dug into that. Turns out there was a bunch of billionaires involved. Let me it said my colleague Nicholas Fandos dug into the donors in this group, which is already the single largest outside spending force in the race. And I need to find the specific person who they said. Here, while I pull it up.
That shit is crazy that like these niggas can just funnel the shit. Nobody bats an eye.
Yeah, there's lots of
no one
shit.
does.
That's literally the job in a sense.
There's so many like different loopholes.
I be
now.
watching House of Cards.
They said of these, at least 16 came from of the donors. At least 16 came from individuals Forbes magazine identified as billionaires. During
Forbes.
They said
investigation.
Yeah, they said some of the business and the real estate communities have flocked to Cuomo, a moderate, for fear of his closest rival, Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani. He's a Democratic socialist whose platform includes freezing the rent.
Yeah.
So all the real estate motherfuckers are giving their money to Cuomo.
Please, Cuomo, save me.
Yeah.
No.
And they said a spokesperson for the pro Cuomo super PAC, Liz Benjamin, said that donors have supported Fix the City because they know that Andrew Cuomo has the right experience to and fight the plans or whatever for New York City or some bullshit. Donald Trump and RFK Jr. also come involved here because I believe that same PAC was supporting both of them as well.
Of course.
So
double agent, like you said, double agent.
Yep.
These are all Democratic people as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
these are Democrats.
Oh, okay.
It says, but even as those says raised, Fix the City has collected hefty donations from individuals who have allied themselves with the president, including hedge fund manager Bill Ackman and Kenneth Langone, the founder of Home Depot.
Oh,
Nick also
I used
reports
to work
that.
at Home Depot.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself.
Nick also reports that it was of a couple days ago. The super PAC is expecting another $250,000 today from Mark Gorton, who's a wealthy investor and conspiracy theorist who founded RFK Jr.'s presidential super PAC.
Oh,
These are the people.
Fully on the other. You know what's funny
Yes.
about this shit? It'd be so hilarious when I hear a lot of people always like they'll shit on politics and they'll be like, oh, you know, the Democrats are bad and the Republicans are bad. Well, once you start to actually like look into the shit, you realize that you're right in a sense, right? There are bad Democrats, there are bad Republicans, but it's because you niggas will allow these niggas to do shit like this and no one fucking knows about it.
And
if we involved ourselves more in politics as a community, we wouldn't have shit like this happening just randomly under our noses.
You see someone like, how do you pronounce his name?
Zohran.
You see someone like that, and you call his ideals like a utopian, but she'll support the nigga that has like 11
These
sexual
niggas are
accusations
actually
and
getting
has billionaires funding it.
These niggas are actually getting billionaires to just fund their bullshit. And the why is there. The why is because they know that if the other dude gets in, what's his name?
Zohran Mamdani.
Zohran. If Zohran gets into office, all of that shit gonna get regulated.
Because at the end of the day, there are people that need to live there. So you can't just charge whatever. But go ahead.
Before you start, what pisses me off, right? It happens all the time. A nigga will come through and have the solution to a lot of problems that a lot of people are facing. All these other niggas will squash that shit. And we all gotta come together and fix these solutions when we have the nigga right
a lot
there.
of it is fear,
So,
bro. A lot of it is that fear.
And that fear is weaponized against black people. And this is what I'm really trying to get through to black New Yorkers, is that Andrew Cuomo and them do not give a fuck. One thing that stuck out to me, and we'll get into it, I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. Pay attention to how I went and found News 12. News 12 is an outlet that's prominent in like New York, and they did interviews with both Mamdani and Cuomo as the candidates, and I'm pretty sure they did it with the other candidates as well. But I was trying to pay attention to framing because we get into a conversation of crime. And crime is one of those things that these Democrats in these cities will do. They'll like weaponize and they'll use like fears to try to like push their view on how we should fix the issue. And the shit is some bullshit. And I wanted to get into case in point. So let's watch this first clip of this interviewer asking Zohran what he's going to do about like crime. Okay. Pay attention to the framing and then we'll watch the second one.
And talking public safety now, another crucial issue. A lot of your opponents are looking to beef up the NYPD, add more officers at a time when they are saying they are critically short-staffed. Your plan is somewhat different. You want to create a new agency altogether outside of the NYPD. But with a lot of New Yorkers, especially in high-crime neighborhoods, we've done a lot of investigative work, especially with gun violence in recent months. People there, a lot of them are asking for more police, not less. So how do you square your views with their concerns, while of course also addressing the attrition, the overtime issues that the NYPD is battling right now?
You know, police have a critical role to play in creating public safety. And what we're doing right now, however, is relying on them for almost every single failure of the social safety net. And that reliance is preventing them from doing their actual jobs. And you can see that in the stubbornly low clearance rates for the major 7 categories of crime. And when I speak to New Yorkers, like you said, safety is a top concern. They also want to see more of these crimes actually be solved. And the only way we can do that is if we allow police to do their jobs and hire trained mental health professionals and social workers to do the jobs that they were meant to do. And I say that in reference specifically to dealing with the mental health crisis in our city. What we have right now is a system that is failing New Yorkers. It is failing a New Yorker like Wynn Rosario, a young man who was in the midst of a mental health crisis, when he called 911 and asked for help in his own home when 2 officers who were trained to provide mental health response then shot and killed him within 3 minutes. That does not serve anyone in that situation or the city at large. We need to ensure we bring the strategies that have worked elsewhere in the country, that have been proven successful, and aggressively pursue them here in our city. And chief among them also is gun violence prevention.
So that's a good ass
That's
answer.
a really good answer.
Focusing on creating a different agency that, because like I said, 97, I believe, % of police or 93 to 97% of what they do is doing traffic citations. So when you're having them do traffic citations, when you're having them do mental health crises, when you're having them stop by because someone didn't show up to work, when you're and there are niggas with guns there, you're just kind of infusing people who are already overworked and don't have those tools.
They're already overworked. They're not balanced. How are they supposed to go and balance a crowd of people who's wayward, etc.?
That's one take on how to approach crime. Now I want us to quickly watch this next clip, and I want you to peep what's different. So this is the same person doing the interview, and that one was just, let me ask you what's your approach to crime. Now let's watch the one for Andrew Cuomo.
Okay.
In places like Brownsville, where we met up, the stakes are painfully clear.
I was crying all day, crying all night.
It was here, just last summer, that our cameras captured the chaos and heartbreak after 2 little girls, only 9 and 11, were hit by stray bullets in an alleged gang-related shooting at a local playground.
Innocent children. That's not right.
And the violence is only escalating. Police data obtained by News 12 shows 455 crime complaints already this year in Brownsville, including 9 rapes and more than 200 felony assaults. To put that in perspective, there were just 488 total complaints in all of last year. But Cuomo says he has a plan.
When it comes to public safety, we have to hire more police. And the first issue is going to be with the city council and many of the people who I'm running against who believe the exact opposite. They were defund the police. That's how this problem started, right? Defund the police.
Wow.
They reduced 3,000 police officers. And I said I would hire 5,000 more police, which you can do with half the money we now spend on overtime. So that's going to be the first fight.
The answer that's
the
always
answer is
given:
hire police.
Throw more police at the problem.
Let's put police on every single corner for 1 month. Let's put them on every single corner in New York for 1 month, and then let's ask little Susie if she feels safer.
So yeah,
I promise you she will not.
let's dive.
It's gonna feel like you're in the fucking Hunger Games.
Let's dive into the issue, right? My first problem is the framing. You've seen how it was just asking bro what his position was. Then the second one was, let me do the panning shots of the children's shoes that are empty.
Every person in there was black, by the way. There was not a single not a single white person in that fucking
Yes. So we're going to use the black trauma, the real life experience that black people had on the ground, to sell you the solution of Andrew Cuomo has this plan and it's more police. Because look, if you think there's this crime happening, of course we got to call more police. But there's a couple issues. First of all, the defund the police bullshit that he went on about. This is the reason why we have this problem.
He didn't even say.
Let's put it in context, first of all. And I'll probably include this screenshot on the thing whenever we're done. Crime has been down across the country for the last however many decades. I can pass the laptop around showing you the fucking graph. That's where crime is nationally. It's been down. But every single year, these local politicians and everything are running like crime is increasing. Every time we're having the news stories focusing so much on the crime and XYZ, blah, 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 while it's going down. And they try to make the case that like, oh, it's actually not going down and people are blah, blah, blah. But the funny part is, does putting more police there solve the problem? It does fucking not.
It does. It almost makes it worse.
It doesn't. It doesn't solve the problem, and it does make it worse. Actually, I looked up some data about this. So there was a study that was done by Morgan C. Williams Jr. in 2022. It's called Police Force Size and Civilian Race. It was published in the Journal of American Economic Review, and it says that this research team used data from 200. They analyzed like the growth of police departments in 242 major U.S. cities between 1981 and 2018. So this is a multiple decade study analyzing like the effect of expanding the police department. The analysis showed that for every 10 to 17 officers hired, 1 homicide per year was prevented, but that for each extra officer added to the force, it resulted in anywhere from 7 to 22 new low-level arrests. So while the police force while adding more police can help when it's a very serious crime, for every 1 cop that you add, you're adding in 22 more interactions with the police for low-level crimes. That's the problem with putting more police in an area. Is that yes,
Especially a black area.
yes,
Now you're
you
jumping
might
into like the profiling situation.
yes, you might be able to reduce someone's likelihood of committing like a
Murder,
crime.
like,
If
right.
there's a cop standing there. But that cop is also more likely to cause more black tears and black heartbreak when you get profiled or you
stand on the corner, he sees you, he tie your shit.
Hey, what you're
and
doing
y'all
over
get
there?
into it. Next thing you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he could have been avoided.
I don't like the way you talk to me.
I don't like the way you talk. Exactly. I don't like you cursing at me.
And
Like, what do we-
you
know what I
double the
mean?
amount of cops. They'll be looking for double
Yeah,
amount of
they'll be
issues.
looking-
They'll look for
Exactly.
any amount of issues they can find.
Yep, and it said there was another piece of information that actually that it said if we use already established numbers that say that 2.5% of arrests lead to an incident in which any force was used by a police officer, then the expansion of that police to abate 1 homicide, mind you, they said for every 10 or 17 officers you add, 1 homicide gets prevented. The amount of cops that you would need to do, which means you would also yield between 7 to 10 use of force incidents, of which 4 to 5 incidents would involve a black civilian. So the more and more you add cops to these situations, it's not protecting you from the myth of a problem that doesn't even exist because the crime is also down.
Yeah.
So you get these pro-police motherfuckers who are in the pocket of them who campaign and use black tears and black tragedy to be like, yeah, see, the answer is more police, when that actually gives you more interactions
When
with
has
the
the answer
police.
ever been more police
It
for
never
black trauma?
has been.
So why
Never
black
been.
people are we voting for these people? Make you vote for like stop it.
Yeah.
Like, when has it ever been the solution?
The solution here is never more cops. Academics have suggested all types of different ways that you can accomplish better, more effective policing without just adding on more cops. But they will constantly do that, and then they will feed you the narrative. They're like, yeah, black people, don't you want it? You want to protect yourself against XYZ? It's bullshit. So what do we do about it? The election's coming up. Do not rank Andrew Cuomo on the ballot.
No. Don't even rank that nigga
You can't just rank Zohran number 1 and then put him number 2. No, because then he'll get that percent. You have to vote. You have to rank all the other candidates and leave that man off the ballot.
Yeah.
Because we are returning. Oh yeah, I also forgot. He's also getting investigated by the Department of Justice. So, assuming he wins the election, he will also be at the behest of Donald Trump.
Jesus.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They got all these niggas.
So they about to
in the
bankroll
pocket.
y'all with
Yeah.
one of the 2 major options, unless you go for the nigga who's currently in second
Oh,
place
you gotta
right
take
now.
a trip to New York.
Yep, Zohran.
Yeah. Jam New York.
Jam New York.
Jam New York. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's just so annoying because it's very easy to fall into a mindset, especially when you come from that trauma of being from like a inner city area in like New York or in a black community where you're seeing that violence around you. Very easy to be like, okay, I just want somebody to make this stop. But that does not mean that that's the best way to do it.
Right.
And they will have you believe that time and time again when the data doesn't actually the data lines up more with Zohran's position. Trying something new when it comes to policing as opposed to throw more money at it. They'll say defund the police happened. Defund the police didn't even happen. The fucking budget is up from what 2019
It never
is.
happened.
It never happened.
Like,
All
it
these
was
police-
a talking point,
all these
but you
police-
niggas
yeah.
sat here and yelled so much about it that it actually never even happened.
No, you want to know what happened? A pandemic happened. That's why crime spiked.
Yeah, like what are we talking about? Like there was no police reform. There hasn't been. What are we talking about?
Right.
He's been bullshitting.
Yeah, but people will bullshit with themselves, and that will also have you buy into a lot of anti-black messaging, because the only time you see these on TV is when we're making a tragic story about how
someone got shot.
Someone got shot.
Someone got
and that also can lead to a lot of negative self-perception with that. And
especially as a young anyone that's young and black. I remember growing up watching news and all of that shit, self-deprecation.
Yeah. I want to talk about that self-perception, that negative self-talk, and how that influences men in general today. All the people we done talked about in this race are men, and we see one green flag at least.
One good.
but how I want to get into your topic. Tell me a little bit about that, what you mean by that, like self-deprecation, and how that affects the mindset that you have about yourself.
Okay, so before I get into that, I gotta ask y'all: have y'all heard of the movie Magazine Dreams?
No.
Magazine Dreams. Have y'all heard about like Jonathan Majors hitting his comeback? That one comeback movie.
Oh yeah,
It's the bodybuilder movie. Yeah, it's called Magazine Dreams. I haven't seen the movie.
Before you start, Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Indeed.
Because it is very important.
Because you're going to need this.
You're going to need it, especially now,
segment.
because everyone's confused how shit should really be.
Man.
But I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen a lot of clips and a lot of things on TikTok. So basically what the movie's about is he's a bodybuilder and he's trying to get in this bodybuilding competition and he wants to be the best and he's training hard as shit. He's doing a lot of toxic things to fuck up his mental health and a lot of things. And it like goes into his psyche of like getting to where he wants to be. And he struggles with a lot of mental health issues. And everyone was saying it was such a good movie. And I remember going on TikTok and I saw a lot of clips about it. But then I saw this one clip. It was this one clip of him and this white woman. They were on a date, and it was like a dinner date. And he's a very like awkward social, socially awkward. Yeah, socially awkward person. And he's there, and he's like, oh yeah. And then like he just blanks out, and then he's like, I want to be like the greatest bodybuilder like of all. He's like, I don't care what I have to do. He was like, I even make myself throw up at times. He was like, my mom and dad was killed. He's saying all this shit that is like terrible to be saying, like to not only a date but about yourself. Like that's not a positive way should go about it. So I see that, and then like later on, I'm starting to see people do these gym videos, and they're putting the same audio of that dinner in their gym videos, and I'm like, what? Like, and then they're working out, and they're like, oh, I need to get back from my older self. Like, I hate him so much. Like, I'm a piece of shit, and all this and that. And I'm like, bro, young men need to stop confusing self-deprecation with motivation. They do it every single time, bro. Like I've seen even on TikTok. I don't know if y'all heard about this movie. It's and that leads into the male loneliness shit. It was a movie called The Taxi Driver, and essentially he was saying all this bad shit about himself, how he's lonely, and people use that audio as well. And I've been seeing this all the time, and people just like they almost use the excuse of the shit they're going to just self-deprecate all the time when it comes to, especially like gym culture.
Gym culture is really toxic.
When I tell you, it was, I think back when I was a sophomore in high school, I was very fucking depressed. And I got into working out. I was listening to them niggas that, yo, you got to get in the gym. You got to build your body and it will build discipline. And when I tell you, I got big as shit at the time, but my mental was still fucked up.
It was still fucked up.
It's not going to help you. I guarantee you, me back then being buff is not the same person that I'm skinny now, but my mental is pristine.
Yeah, I'm crazy now.
Because I worked on that shit, bro.
Yeah,
You can't just hop in the gym, come out and be like, oh yeah, no, I'm good. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work like
For all the the healthy bitch ass niggas that we mentioned earlier, that's kind of like what we're alluding to, is a sense that like there are so many ways that like, and then I experience it too as a man, where like everyone has like this main character syndrome to a certain extent, right? You like your own like story, your own mythology.
In a way, it makes sense.
Yeah, in a way, it makes sense to keep you motivated. But the issue is, again, toxic masculinity is something that does not describe what masculinity is. It's an element of it that a lot of you niggas have about yourselves as well.
Yeah.
If you're saying like all these like super negative self-talk things, and it's very easy to say them about yourself because you could be feeling that loneliness, that is not at the end of the day going to be a driver for any character development. When you go in that gym, it might drive you, that pain and that anger might drive you through the physical pain of that, But then what is after that? That's the
You gonna be
problem.
sitting in your
Literally.
room crying, buff as hell.
and, you're still shitty. Like, and then, like, what a lot of people don't, it's very easy to be negative. And you almost get a dopamine off of just talking so, like, bad about yourself, and you don't even peep it. That's why it's such a big motivation for these young kids in the gym or even men. Yeah, it becomes a habit because, bro, once you talk bad about yourself once, bro, it's easy to just keep pushing yourself to be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that.
And then that's when, like, other things that actually have, like, a lot of, like, research and stuff behind them, like body dysmorphia and shit like that, start happening because that's the only thing you're feeding yourself. So what do you think's gonna happen when you do get in front of that mirror and you've done your 75 and hard, right? And then fucking you get in front of that mirror and pose. You think you're gonna be like, damn, I look really good. You're gonna be like,
I gotta work
I'm
on
still
this
small. This is bad.
And
that's where it comes from.
That, and especially one point that I remember like a while ago, it was with like the Fresh and Fit niggas and Andrew Tate. They were like, oh yeah, bullying is a good thing because bullying endorses change. Now that's a very controversial thing. It's half and half of people being like, oh well, like it made me not fat. But then you also hear the term like, once a fat kid, always a fat kid. Where does that term come from? In the sense of people bullied the shit out of you, calling you fat, and sure, it made you change, but mentally you're still stuck as how you were as a kid because all these people are feeding these ideas, and you almost kept the same.
That's
thing.
why it's like,
That's why I don't think it's a good thing.
I don't think that bullying should be something that's primarily used for change. I think that bullying should be used when it's warranted as a response to like equivalently dog shit behavior. Because I genuinely don't think
we gotta
that,
categorize
like,
bullying.
Yeah,
now. Good
I
bullying,
don't
bad
think
bullying.
that bullying, especially in the sense that a lot of us experienced it, y'all give it a little bit too much credit. Because yes, you will be a different person at the end of the day of it. But there is
Depends
no
on
control.
which way,
But
exactly.
9
What if
times out of 9, that person will be shaped in a negative sense. You could make it a positive in the outcome, but you're going to be that thing that initially prompted that change is
I would
not
say
something that's
this.
healthy or constructive.
Something I could say is like, I feel like the bullying I went through gave me tougher skin, like thicker skin, right? Which is a good thing in a way, but also that's an insecurity as well. Like that's it's a defense mechanism for me to be like, okay, now if somebody talk about my shoes, nigga, I'm gonna fry your ass. Because immediately when I was younger, when I was getting fried, I didn't know how to fry back. I didn't know, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there bawling my fucking eyes out. Now it's like, you're never gonna catch me down like that.
Yeah.
But that's a negative defense mechanism now to always be on guard, always be, and you're never able to be empathetic to certain things. At least now, like, I feel like I have such a harder time being empathetic to certain things because I'm always, all right, I'm ready. If you want to fry, we can fry. If you want to fry, we can fry. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good thing.
Literally, and that connects with the main point in the sense of like, you get that reward of being fit, but you also have that very big negative side of like, okay, I can't stop self-deprecating in every avenue of my life because I try to apply it to this one, and you almost think it doesn't translate to anyone. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But I remember I was a kid, and I remember, like, because I grew up as a fat kid, and I remember going to high school, and bro, like any other nigga, like, you want girls to like you. So I'm like, all right, bro, I need to lose weight. Bro, I was eating 1 meal a day. I was eating vegetable soup once a day, and I didn't even realize that's
Like
part
you was
of
hurting yourself.
Literally, I'm hurting myself, bro. I'm not eating lunch. I'm working out crazy just for validation of other people, for real. And it's translated even to now of like, why, like, even that value of me, like, they'll be cooking and I'll be like, bro, I don't know if I could eat this, or I don't know if I could do this. And that's stuck in my mind from how I was as a kid. And that's the big negative side to it that a lot of people don't really deep.
It could always go that other way. Like, think about the people that get bullied and then kill themselves.
Literally.
Well, it's like, did the change help them? Like, no, they died.
No, it
So
did.
it's like,
Yeah.
it genuinely, you can't even generalize it in just saying like, you know.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it is that like it doesn't make sense to like say like you were working your entire life to be like a chef or something, and you got like devastating news and you couldn't be a chef anymore. You wouldn't then buy that person a Porsche and be like, feel better. Like, you can fix only so many things on the outside. If some shit happened to you, like say you wanted that validation from like a girl, or like you got broken up with, or something like that, you're going to look in the mirror at the end of the day and you might look physically better. But the only thing that that is stronger than what you look physically on the outside is what you feel about how you look.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at yourself, that's like what you said, that body dysmorphia can come in, because if you feel negative about yourself, you feel worthless because of some other shit that happened to you emotionally. You going to the fucking gym and sweating it out is never gonna help. That's why I despise niggas like Andrew Tate. Because y'all made a killing telling young kids that stupid shit.
Yep. And now
what
you
is
got,
that
you got
going
all
to
these
do?
buff ass niggas going on dates with these women, don't even know how to talk to them.
All you've now done is make yourself a bigger threat, because you still don't have the social cues and anything necessary to make a woman feel comfortable, and now you just big as shit.
You big as shit.
Big as shit for
Now I'm a fry your ass.
They're like, fuck.
One big
for
thing,
no reason.
for no reason, and you pissed as hell. But one big thing about the whole red pill community as a whole, and I was looking at Reddit to like look at people's experiences, and I saw this big Reddit thread where it was like, okay, you like self-hatred is like easier for like motivation rather than self-love, and like he relied on it. And someone in the comment was like, no pain, no gain. And I'm like, one big thing that the red pill community like advertises like, oh yeah, if you're fat, you need to do this. And what they don't realize, where the real hard work, where the real pain gain shit is understanding that you need to change your body and understanding that you want to make these changes, but at the same time bettering your mental health at the same time. Because it's like, it's easy to just be negative and just work out, because that's the fuel. That's the real pain.
Working through your mental shit is the pain.
Literally, it's working through the pain while simultaneously trying to change the thing you want to change. And that will lead to a healthier, better lifestyle, bro.
Yeah, because I genuinely feel like the way that you get there 9 times out of 10, it's very rare that it's actually going to be a productive thing for someone to use that negative self-talk and be like, and drive that to a point where it's actually successful. I think you're 10 times out of 10 going to be more successful at changing whatever you want about yourself if you get that mental thing in order first. And I feel like you cannot have that in order unless you find different ways to love yourself first.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even like before you get into a relationship. That's like in everything. Like, you have to know what you find interesting, what you love to do, why you love to do that thing, why it's not weird or lame. It's just something that you like to do. That's all shit that none of them weights is going to help you figure out. And if anything, it'll be easier to pick up a weight if I'm more of a complete person. You can't use that to fill that void and then talking down to yourself the entire time while you do that, because by the time you come out on the other side, if you do, because we're going to talk about male only in this epidemic, the suicide rates and everything, if you do come out on the other side, what do you have to offer yourself and other people?
Family.
Not only
you're drained now and like you achieved whatever body, but like you still have to keep living. Like, it's so annoying, because that's such an easy rabbit hole to fall into. You say you found a whole subreddit
of it. It's a whole Reddit of it. And one thing that like I'll always kind of look at life as like one goal. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna lose all this weight in a certain amount of time, then I'll be able to live my life fully. Going back to what you were saying, in a sense of like, you work out, but you have a life to live now. You're fulfilling that void with things you think are making it better, but in actuality, it's making the hole bigger. So like, how can you live your life? There is no end goal to life. You just live. So if you just live, bro, you have to better yourself as you're trying to.
There's also no end goal to the gym.
It's not.
Yeah.
You could be an average forever because you want to keep yourself right? So that's like, that by definition, alarm bells should be ringing in your head when you hear these people talk. I was watching that nigga, I think his name Andrew or some shit. He's like a really far right dude. He was debating, remember that one girl who blew up the Charlie Kirk thing where he did the smile, the little human being?
I know exactly what you talking about.
Yeah, with the piercing. Yeah.
She, I follow her.
She dope.
Oh,
she went on
hair suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hair suit.
Shout out her. She went
Get on the J.
She went on the Whatever podcast and she was debating that one nigga Andrew. And Whatever podcast is like King Incel Red Pill podcast. And the nigga is like probably 20 years older than her, and he can't look her
Grown
in the
ass
eyes.
man. Can't even look at her in the eyes.
Can't look her in the eyes. Not one time. And you're like supposed to be a staunch advocate
Niggas
for
talk
the
down
way
like
men
he.
are.
And she's like staring him down. He's not
There
looking
the
at
entire
Wasn't
time.
that the same thing where he couldn't open the fucking jar?
Yeah. He was
Like, bro.
here, you open this. He's like, well, you greased it.
Nobody greased the fucking jar.
She was like, I can't open it. You open it. The nigga talking about, damn, you greased it.
And then he handed it to like another
Big
dude
ass
off
nigga
there,
next
like,
to me.
Yeah, open it. You didn't call yourself a piece of shit for the 15th time. Now you wonder why you anxious as fuck can't look nobody in the eye.
Exactly.
That's literally what it is.
That's
You
what
done
it
called
be.
yourself a horse
You
shit.
don't understand.
Like, all
You
types of
understand?
shit.
People be memeing the personality thing, right? And maybe personality, the word don't work for you, but confidence should.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that confidence, you are not gonna get past step one. If your goal in this life is only to talk to women or to feel confident
You're
when you're
done
talking
for.
or whatever, you're done for if you can't master that at first. And you can't do that if you have a bunch of negative self-talk happening.
You gotta master that self-confidence first.
You
do. And that self-confidence comes from self-love, bro. That's literally what it comes from. But as a whole, we need to stop, especially as men, we need to stop glamorizing negativity. I see it all the time on TikTok. Me and him like always troll on it. Like Blade Runner, the movie we saw.
Yeah.
The nigga, I'm not gonna spoil it, but essentially, I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of it. He died in the snow, essentially. And people were like, oh, this is such a peaceful way to die. I wanna die just like this. Like, oh, I just wanna go out like this. And then we wonder,
Like, what are we talking about?
you want to die in the snow. The one Ace just pissed on.
Like,
You know what I mean? It's
let's
like,
be real. First of all, no, you don't. At least without accomplishing something. So why are we wasting time here? Like,
With honor.
you will be these kids.
Nigga, shut up.
These dudes will be 16. Talking about, I'd go out like this. Bro, you haven't even like
You haven't
Let's talk about
then
it.
that's
Y'all
what
listen.
y'all
The
listen.
loneliness.
We go get into it.
What does
bro.
that lead into, bro?
Doom
Yeah.
of the day.
Because I love that
of
you
the
just brought up the
fucking
16-year-olds talking about it. Because I feel like at the end of the day, bro, these 20-year-olds, these 23-year-olds, y'all are done.
These
Y'all are lost cause.
45-year-olds
45
who are still defending Diddy at your grown-ass age.
You're lost. You're cooked. You're a lost cause, right? Let's talk about this male loneliness, the men's loneliness epidemic, male loneliness
I've been
epidemic,
hearing the
whatever it is.
word
I've been
all
hearing
over
it
the
hella
place.
recently, right?
It's become a meme.
Yeah.
First thing, I want to read y'all, like definition on some Google shit. What is the men's loneliness epidemic? Is what I typed into Google. And it says, refers to the amount of men that feel more depressed, increased isolation, and loneliness throughout their lives. This has led to increased health issues, relationship issues, lack of emotional awareness in general, and a rise in suicide rates among men, right? Right now, right, because people always want to talk about the suicide rates. They talk about the suicide rates. Right now, well, I'm pretty sure they said like, it was like a 4 times more, like in terms of suicide rate, it was a 4 times more rate for men instead of like women, where it's like 50% of the population is men, and we make up 80% of the suicides, which is nuts,
That's
right?
nuts.
That's actually nuts.
Someone can fact check me on it if I'm wrong. I think that women are actually like more likely or very similarly likely to attempt it, but men use
but
men use significantly more
we use
violent,
like guns and shit like that,
true.
versus like women who use like
they'll try to like
they'll
cut
like
their
if they're like
wrists.
cut their wrist, something like that. Yeah, we use this
Men
nigga
just
just jump off a bridge or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
some like nut shit. And I guess the first direction I want to go with this male loneliness epidemic thing is we have to start at like the frequently asked questions, right? Frequently asked questions. How do we get to this point, right?
FAQs.
So, some of the exactly, right? Some of the things that men say, or the things that are actually like within our community, are things like, one, they say men reported having a lack of one close friend. One close friend. Damn. Right? Damn. They don't. A lot of men don't have one close friend. Right? Another thing is less likely to seek mental like services, like therapy, stuff like that, right?
Yep, therapy is definitely important.
Let's dwell on that for just a millisecond, right? If that is one of the things, if that's one of the main things why they say, okay, men, well, we can't seem to have one friend. Why is the content focused around helping men, especially during Men's Awareness Month? Isolate yourself. Don't go to parties. Don't go to. Isn't that counterproductive?
Talk about it.
That doesn't even make sense. Like, let's really, because I want the young men that watch our podcast, but also just in general that like. They are the ones that absorb that type of content.
Exactly.
Let's actually talk about this. If I'm and men always want to talk about one thing that men always talk about in terms of women being emotional, right? They talk about shoulders, right? Women. I used to have this thing in my past relationship called shoulders or solutions, right? So every time she would like get into something or we'd like talk about something, I'd always ask her, I'd be like, okay, do you want a shoulder? Do you want a solution, right? Do you want a shoulder to cry on? Do you want me to listen to you? Do you want to vent to me? Or do you want a solution? Do you want me to try to like, brainstorm solutions with you, right? Men, a lot of the times, right, we're wired in a sense, right? We're wired, as they say, the logical. We're socially expected to do those solutions, right? We're not going to sit here and there's no reason to cry. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no reason to cry about your situation. Just, you know what I'm saying? Solution. Why the fuck is our solution to the male loneliness epidemic
To stay lonely.
to stay lonely? What the fuck? Go to the gym, put your headphones in, and lock in on what you need to do.
Yes.
To read books in the dark. Why?
Because
what are we talking about?
the definition of logical and rational has been bastardized by people who are idiots.
Yes.
That is not
fresh and fit.
Yes.
So thank
I.e.
you. Thank you. Right? And that takes us into our next thing. Who are our role models? Men need better role models. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But men need better role models, right?
in general.
In general, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to show y'all a few clips, all types of shit. The reason, and I will say this, the reason why there is a male loneliness epidemic is because we have role models like DJ Akademiks in our fucking community. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
DJ Akademiks. So before we get to all of the other shit, why the fuck did Matt just bring up DJ Akademiks and talking about the male loneliness epidemic? Can we see the 2 screenshots? It's a little bit past this. Can we see the 2 screenshots, please, of the DJ Akademiks stuff we have in here? So right here, go back. So right here, we have a comment. This is on Akademiks TV. This is his account that's on Twitter that's not run by him, but it is his page, right? Let's read. This was a comment made, or no, this was the caption of a video from some woman on the Shade Room talking about, I believe, like something to do with the Megan trials or something like that, or some type of, oh no, it was Caitlin Clark. The caption reads, "A chopped, musty, snaggletooth's Shade Room Ku Klux Keisha claims Caitlin Clark's an endangerment to all black female athletes."
What? And that's the nigga that we got to be listening to. And then here's the thing.
That's the caption. That's the caption.
Here's the thing. I used to support Akademiks like heavy. Like I used to be in his discourse watching his things, and then he took like this hard right turn to like the right.
He did.
I
He was
stopped
not
fucking
like
with him
that.
after that, bro.
Academics
He
did,
was not like
and
that.
regardless of the Chicago shit, because go fuck yourself anyway, fat man. But regardless of all of that shit, Academics really wasn't on that type of time and back when Donald Trump. He was really more so on some just like reporting shit, some rap reporting shit. You know what I'm saying? And then he just randomly just started, you know what I mean? Spelling niggas' names out, sucking dick on some shit. And in this comment, right? This comment is not inherent, like it's not like fully just like racist, right? To this black woman or whatever, right? But I wanna, and this is the thing I was trying to tell people, right? When talking about this. Can we look at the other comment? It's the one back. Let's look at the next comment that was under this post. I can't read it. I'm gonna keep it a beat. But so I was, thank you. Shade Room takes all the angry, ugly, hood rat bitches and gives them a voice.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about right now?
This is where that problem comes in, right? Academics doesn't have to say straight up, I hate black women, I hate this, I hate that. No, but allowing for some shit like this, allowing for a caption like that, allows for a racist nigga to say some shit like this. Yeah, we know who the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly.
A blonde woman, a white blonde woman is not getting called an angry, ugly hood rat bitch.
The other day, if y'all want to know what this manifests itself like, the other day when we went out, we had seen there was a dude who had came up to us when we left the building, and bro was like trying to talk to us or whatever, and was like, "Oh, y'all ain't getting no girls, da da da," and we were just trying to walk about our day, so like, "Nah, man, we just cool and da da da." And I remember I think I had said something along the lines where I'm like, "Nah, it's not enough like melanin or something, whatever." And the dude looks me dead in my face, black man, and he goes, "Nah, you don't need no black." I think he said the B word. I think he said black bitch. He said, I don't need no black women. Why would you ever blah, blah? those are the niggas who watch Academic.
Yeah.
You might not go on a Twitter comment section and be like, these snaggletooth, da-da-da, but being in a
Someone
community,
will.
someone
will.
and you'll read that, and you'll immediately have whatever Medea stereotype
Damn,
of black
that's
women.
funny.
Yeah.
And you're not even realizing what the fuck
And here's
because
the thing,
he's
though.
not just talking about in general of women. No, he'd never say no shit like that to someone that looks like him.
And here's the thing, though. When shit like that happens and you see those type of comments, a lot of these niggas, well, I can't control my comment section. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because there's been multiple times where I've done like a video on maybe it's like, I think it was one time, it was a black woman that she had like her child doing like waxing people type shit. It was some weird shit. And I made a video on it, and it was somebody in the comments like, oh my God, it's always these black people. I deleted his shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
What are we talking about?
We not keeping that
We
shit
not
over
on that
here.
shit. No,
Hell no.
People be coming in my stream and saying certain shit. Nah.
Ban that nigga.
We not hate training. We not hate
6,000.
training black women on some shit.
A big
Hell
thing
no.
on why, like, the whole male loneliness epidemic. I remember me and JJ were in the kitchen. We were just like laughing about it. Why, like, especially me, why I don't take that shit serious is because it's just it's a contradiction in itself.
Exactly.
You cannot preach to men. You need to do this and this to make yourself better.
Go to
but
gym.
also you thrive off negativity
Think about
at the exact same time.
The same men who are big into the male loneliness epidemic, they're called men's rights activists or the red pill niggas, will cry daily about that suicide rate. And we'll talk about how men feel so by themselves and XYZ, and they're the ones killing themselves and XYZ. Y'all will then turn around and go preach to men that you're not high value unless you're making six figures, you go to the gym, you do XYZ. You're defining concretely by some unrealistic ass, dumbass terms what it means to be a man. And when the young men do not live up to that standard because they're 18 and are not making six figures, they get depressed. They feel like they're not living up to the standard that society expects them to be at. That caused them to be alienated. That caused them to be suicidal.
And then you blame it on women for creating that standard.
making that.
When in actuality, you're the one that created that
Niggas
standard.
live up to that standard because other men set that role up, and now women expect that from a lot of men.
On Jesus, because I know all you niggas is losing your shit. On Jesus, you're not walking down the street and finding 10 women that are gonna tell you to make over 600K, but I guarantee you. You go to 10 niggas,
They will
and
say
half
that.
of them niggas are gonna say the same. Hey, nah, you gotta be making hella money. You know girls like all this money and shit. You know girls want
Because
all
you're
the money.
sitting there watching a 6-hour stream with Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, or you're watching a
That's what you're
DDG,
taught,
or
bro.
you're watching any of these
DJ Akademiks.
rich niggas, and then you're comparing yourself to these niggas that have been in this industry for 10 plus years. Or Kai Cenat, the random 1%, less than 1% Bronx nigga that just happened to make millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's
Bro, and you know what it is. Sorry, go ahead.
No, continue.
What it leads to with
high.
that do the fans with that self-deprecation point, what it leads to is, imagine being that young 17, 18, 16-year-old. You're watching that Fresh and Fit pod, and you're seeing all these girls say this point of like, oh yeah, my man needs this and this. What you're looking at is an unrealistic standard of what life actually is. That's
that
not
creates-
real.
And it creates
not real.
unrealistic standards for
For
everybody.
everyone,
God.
that
Women as
leads,
well.
that
Yeah.
leads to that
That
behavior
is
of that.
one of the most important things that has probably been said on this podcast, is that the shit is not real. They
not
are
real,
doing
bro.
this shit for the content. The same way that Academics can be in a
it's
clip.
engagement farming.
The same way that Academics can be in a clip like 4 years ago when it didn't really matter, saying they're like, yeah, I think Kendrick, he's a better rapper, you know, he could do XYZ. And then the moment it
just
became
dick eating.
expedient, you're dick
Dick
eating
eating.
for Drake. There is not a concrete, I'ma stand here, this is my spine, this is my take that I'ma stand on. No, it's wherever the wind blows. So
Wherever the
you'll
wind
see
blows.
these niggas who are making a bag, self-selecting who these women are gonna be on this podcast, making sure you got maybe one that knows what they're talking about, but the rest of them who have never had a political discussion in their life and they're living in Miami, and they're telling you
Like
the unrealistic
Miami.
and your ass is sitting, you're sitting in fucking Rochester, New York, being like, damn, well, damn, I guess I can't make bread unless I get. Bro, you're living up to some shit that they know
Bro.
is not real, and they know it's not real. They,
And they'll capitalize over you.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the thing.
They'll make bread off you.
They'll
Yes.
make it. And that's
Fucking
the
Andrew
thing.
Tate's had the university shit
from jump.
Yes.
Making bread off you niggas.
And that's why it's very important to not talk so bad about yourself because those same niggas that give you advice capitalize off of you.
Yeah.
They need you to be that way so they can make their fucking dollar.
Why you think all
or
of
they'd
these
all
niggas-
be fucking broke.
Bro,
Exactly.
Andrew
Myron
Tate
Gaines and all them niggas would be broke
would
as
be
fucking
broke if they
shit.
couldn't
They have no
capitalize off your
other
misery.
talent other than saying, well, you
Because they went that route. They went that route that they telling you to go
They
that route.
understand, bro. They understand at this point that there is no other route. They understand that they're so deep on this path that they can't do it.
Yeah.
Or you end up having a Candace Owens situation where you got to cut hella ties and then try to rebrand yourself. They can't do that shit.
Nope.
Going and I'm sorry to cut you off. You go right after. I was saying like, I remember Andrew Tate did this video on Christmas, and he was sitting in this big ass hotel. He was like, "You're probably sitting there, you fat shit," and was just saying all this shit. He was like, "You."
Like, are y'all
he
niggas
was
like cucks?
He was like, "Yeah,
y'all
yeah."
like that shit?
He was like, "Oh yeah, you're at your
yeah,
Christmas dinner family, and they're all
Yeah.
doing nothing, and you need to move away from them." Do you understand? I know you guys see this nigga as like a rich guy, so it blinds you of all the dumb shit he's saying. But really, peep what the fuck he's saying to you. He just
Money
called you a
controls the
fat
world in
shit
that
and shouldn't
aspect,
be
bro.
with your family.
Money controls the world in that aspect,
Exactly.
and I am someone that understands how that feels deeply because not only was I grown up in a household where money was very much so like kind of like that North Star of everything that I want to do when I was younger. It's money, 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 because that's
Want to go to
just how I
McDonald's?
grew
You got
up.
money?
Yeah.
Huh?
You want to go to McDonald's? You got
Yeah,
money?
yeah. But even in a case of like my mom was the breadwinner.
Yeah.
I think I've said that on podcast where my mom was the breadwinner, my dad wasn't. So that dynamic already was fucked up from a young age. I was growing up like, no, I can't end out like this nigga because my mom, love you, mom, but my mom was being like, you can't end up like this nigga. You know what I mean? Like my father, right? So I grew up that way. Then I got in a relationship where my girl had a single mom who was the breadwinner. So she was also like, you can't, Matt he gotta get his shit together. He gotta go to school. He gotta do these things. He gotta make this money. I understand being 17 years old, bro. The only reason why I have a car right now is because I was peer pressured into getting a car by the women in my life, right? Yes, right? You can blame them, but at the same time,
What standard were they conforming
Exactly.
to? The standard
And the
that's been
standard
since
that
the
was
dawn of
started-
time that the man has to
That
be
the
the
man's
breadwinner
going
and
out.
buy the car.
literally.
Yeah.
So literally, it's like it's a loop.
Yes.
Literally, it's y'all are getting mad or y'all are creating this male loneliness epidemic when nigga we are the niggas who perpetuate. We started the
They
shit.
will put you in a
Exactly.
If
coffin
we-
and then cry about it.
If we came together as a
literally-
collective of men and said we're gonna focus on mental health, we're gonna focus on our mental health. We're not gonna focus on fucking how much money you make on all these things. If that was the standard, as a 50%. As 50% of the population, don't you think it would start to change the standard?
Yes.
Like, what are we talking? If every man was on the same page and was like, okay, we're gonna focus on our mental health. We're not gonna we're not just gonna dive into the gym to suppress our feelings. We're not gonna fucking just
not
go
gonna cut
and
off everybody.
alienate everybody,
Right.
cut off everybody. We're gonna look out for you. There's literally a trend going on right now where you call your homie to tell him good night, and every nigga, if you hear it, it's like, why the fuck are you calling?
You calling?
Yeah, because it's not even
It's
normal.
rare for you to hear from your homie.
It's not
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah.
Bro, he called, even though it's a funny ass joke, this nigga called his fucking coach.
Yeah.
And was like, good night. What you saying good night for me? Like, on the
These
snap.
niggas, I be telling all these niggas I love them. And it was weird to me until about a year ago. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
still
not,
I still struggle saying it sometimes.
and that's not from a women thing, gang. That's because as men, you know it's like, yeah, you don't want to get perceived a certain way. You don't want to accept. Bro, if we came together and we stopped those bullshit ass narratives, you would not be worried. As a man, bro, you wouldn't be worried about what the fuck XYZ woman is saying, XYZ woman is saying, because at the end of the day, it's about men. And I thought it's Men's Awareness Month.
Mind you,
it shouldn't
not
be.
only is
the goal shouldn't, I'm sorry, but the goal should not be, at the end of the day, the goal should not be grind in the gym, get hella money, and then find Uman and fucking become. No, it shouldn't be that. The goal should be better yourself as a man. That's the whole fucking point.
And define for
regardless
yourself.
of women, define what for yourself what a man is and what it looks like within yourself, and not what Andrew fucking Tate tells
I was gonna say the problem can't simultaneously be that we have a male loneliness epidemic and none of these men even have a chance out here with these women.
but also the women have so much social capital on what men should be doing that the reason why I'm fucked up is because of women. No, you can't even get close. Like we were saying just now, you can't even get close to like loving another dude, or else that's like gay.
Yeah.
And the term gay is the ultimate boogeyman for a lot of you niggas. Especially a lot of black men.
Especially black men. But also considering we do a lot of like as a community, especially at this point, we do a lot of gay shit. Like in terms of like nothing, but like we do a lot of gay shit. In terms of like LeBron, I think about all the time.
Yeah, like
we got a whole side of the internet that calls themselves LeBron sexuals.
And then that's
what the fuck?
I wanna
what?
Mind you,
it was a trend for the past month.
Yes,
niggas would come in my chat and be like, "Gun to the back of your," or no, "Bron dick to your mouth." Name
like
yo.
I beg your fucking pardon.
So it's like y'all niggas be playing both sides, and at the end of the day, bro, it genuinely is like
it's up.
What do you actually care about?
Yeah.
What this male loneliness epidemic? What are you actually trying? Once you figure out for me what you're actually trying to do, who the actual role models are, and who they should be, and then start talking about all of these other issues. Start talking about that shit. Don't come in here.
Yeah,
spouting bullshit or listening to niggas like Akademiks. Can we see a few of these screenshots from this? There's another page that I found called, it was like The Driven Mind or some bullshit on what's it called? You're not depressed, you're undisciplined. Nigga, what? Look at this nigga. Nigga, you telling me this nigga don't look depressed? No, nigga, you're depressed. Nigga, you look soulless.
You
like
look soulless.
shit.
You want to know what that is? And this is another thing that they get you with that red pill shit and with the thing that contributes to the male lonely epidemics. It's the personal responsibility meme. Like, again, it's very easy for you niggas to be like, well, yeah, of course, it's me. It's my fault. I take personal responsibility. Do you even know enough about what depression is and how it manifests in yourself before you said that? You have never once thought you probably don't even call yourself depressed or acknowledge. You haven't even gotten it
never had a
by
person ask you something in depth about it
at all.
Yeah.
A big thing I want to tap into with that male loneliness shit and why it's such a bad thing, especially with the response that like men influencers give to them. A lot of people don't realize that they're doing nothing, and why it, like you see the shit with like the Blade Runner shit dying in the snow, or like I don't know if y'all seen Fight Club, but like there'd be a whole bunch of shit with that,
which nobody ever understands.
No one ever understands. You want to know why it was misconstrued? It was misconstrued because it fed to people's insecurities and made them feel seen. So you're like, oh shit, I didn't know people like actually like think that way. You know what? Let me just keep feeding my insecurity more and more to the point where you don't even recognize yourself, bro. You don't, but that. Because I could speak to that because I remember I used to do that, bro. I remember seeing certain shit and being like, oh yeah, no, this is good because at the end of the day, this is how I feel. Someone else feels it, so this has to be right.
Yeah, you're looking for that roadmap.
You're looking for that, and it almost gives you that escape from that void you're feeling, and that comes that dopamine because you're looking at this shit and you're like, damn, I really feel seen. This is how I'm gonna live my life. Fuck all this. And in actuality, the depression part and why you don't get that question about it because you're causing your own fucking depression from it.
You're not with things like that where they'll tell you that like, oh, it's not that you're depressed, you're just undisciplined. It's fucking you over because it's A, saying that depression is not a real thing or insinuating it, and B, saying, hey,
you're not working hard enough.
Personal responsibility, you're not working hard enough. I can tell you for damn sure that I've worked plenty hard and been depressed at the same time.
The thing is, like, it challenges the narrative of a lot of talking points. The whole bootstrap like victim mentality within the black community. It challenges a lot of like if white, let's just say like cisgender like white men, right? If they were to actually think about certain things and be like, well, maybe I am depressed, then that would actually mean that there is something outside of just like
outside of personal responsibility.
Outside of like personal responsibility or the tangible things in front of you, there's something that could actually contribute to you not getting something, to you not, and then you would like simultaneously you'd have to then
validate what we've been saying, like things like systematic racism, those outer things, those environmental things that we're not allowed to do, or we're not allowed to actually experience as black people. You'd have to actually acknowledge that. You're not ready to do that.
You'd have to.
So depression doesn't fucking exist.
You can
because
yourself.
you have to be able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Because if you
else something else is wrong here.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is that other thing?
Yeah.
It's not the women around.
It's not the women.
It's not. And that's the shit. Bro, that shit makes you bitter about women. That's why it's such a meme. It's not because women are out here to fucking get you. No, the male loneliness epidemic is damn near like a system to make you bitter about women.
We do it to ourselves.
We do it every single time.
Like without any men, like there could be there's not a woman in this room right now. And like if we had this entire room full of men and I was like, yeah, I love you, bro. Like, a few of them would probably be like,
huh? What'd you say?
It's a little weird. Because it's not even normalized in our society to tell another man you love them without being gay.
And it's not even normalized in
Weird
our
as
society
fuck,
to
bro.
see another man that has decided to choose that path for themselves and accept that.
Yeah.
If a nigga put on a dress or a nigga paint his nails or a nigga do anything that's outside the ordinary,
You gotta,
But it's so crazy because your dumbass will be depressed because there are standards that you're expected to live up to that you don't want to.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't want to. You want
right?
to choose a different path, but you can't.
Bro.
You're socially disincentivized to do it.
Literally, and the hypocrisy with that is you'll see a lot of niggas who see the dress, the painting nails, and it's like, oh, they're pushing this to the youth. They're making this agenda. What are you pushing?
Not a
What are you
goddamn
pushing?
Yes.
You're
pushing
making
At the end of the day, it's
depression,
like we're in the
self-deprecation. That's
upside
what
down
people-
because our message pushing is, hey, you can do whatever you want and have man be defined however you. I seen a nigga in my comment section was like, you're not masculine enough to be talking about this. What the fuck does that even mean?
Now, if I whoop your ass, I'm wrong, right?
If I give you that, my life out like Elon.
Exactly.
Am I masculine enough to cry if I tote guns, get hella tattoos, what's gonna make me
what
more
aspects of masculinity?
you?
Because
Yeah,
if
what are we
we
talking
both have bread, but you like being at home more, but I'm an intelligent nigga. Like we can go bar for bar on what gender role constitutes gender role, or you could shut the fuck up and acknowledge that there's two ways to be a
We're
man.
literally telling your sorry ass. We're literally telling your sorry ass that no, bro,
You can
you're
do what you
okay.
wanna do,
You
bro.
have time, do what you want to do. And you're coming back to us telling us, nah, nigga, you not even masculine enough. You ain't even got as much.
bro,
Nigga, what?
What are you
talking about? You in our comments.
Exactly.
What the fuck is you talking about?
I seen a comment. A nigga was like, "These motherfuckers look like they listen to anime. Or they
anime convention
watch
or something.
anime or some shit.
anime.
They don't have no room to talk about women. They don't know." I'm like, okay, for the niggas out there, right? If you just want one solution, number one, get into meditation. That will definitely help you. Number two, find yourself a hobby. When you get in that hobby, if you're like me, right? I used to be a socially awkward person. And I still am at some point.
Yeah, I still am too.
You can go to these different conventions, whether if it's an anime convention, shoe convention, whatever, and that's how you can build friendships with different people because y'all got the same type of, y'all got the same
Especially
interest.
men. Nigga, you'll be like,
Exactly, bro.
damn, bro, these pants hard. Well, your mama stay. You know what I mean? Y'all cool.
Y'all like
cool.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
But you be so up your fucking ass.
Yeah,
you don't say
like,
that.
geez.
But now you listening to these niggas talking about, no, you gotta stay alone, cut off everybody, get in the gym, bro.
Buzz your hair off, nigga. What?
That's why your bitch ass can't find a fucking friend.
Now you sitting in the corner of your
last year,
buzz
it was
cutting off.
Last year it was
1,000-yard stare.
Grow out your hair so women will like you. Now it's buzz your hair so you can lock in and not care about your physical appearance. What the fuck are we talking about?
Bro, I heard you say when you were talking about what a standard of a man should be, and while a lot of people be like, you need to be this and that. I remember seeing Dana. I think he was on Joe Rogan's interview on his pod, and he was like, bro, men now are just pussy. Like they're just like we're just getting so soft and they're not out to kill.
God forbid a nigga feel something.
It's not Vincent fucking Saga. If fucking Thorfinn doesn't come out the woodwork for the night.
God forbid.
Oh my God, bro.
Jesus.
God forbid a nigga just want to sit down and chill.
And chill.
And go
God
to
forbid a
anime
nigga want to.
Exactly.
God forbid a nigga want to be in the comfortability of their own bed and be thinking about a lot of shit and cry and write in a journal. And then these niggas will be these same niggas
that will then turn around and see one woman who's trying to get engagement, who's trying to piss y'all niggas off. They're trying to do it. It's engagement. They'll see one woman go, oh, adding this to the ick list. And I was like, men can't do shit. Nigga, yeah, y'all are telling us we can't do shit.
Yeah.
Men are telling other men you can't do shit.
Yeah.
Fuck are you talking about? And you just sucking the Marvin Gaines, just sucking the DJ Akademiks.
Just insane. Nigga Marvin
Shit crazy.
Gaines.
This
Myron.
yeah.
No, keep that
Marvin.
bitch ass nigga as Marvin.
Yeah. So,
that nigga Marvin Gaines.
man.
That's not even his real name. Myron Gaines is not even his real name.
I don't even know what his
fucking
name is. I just remember that photo of him kissing on another nigga.
Yeah.
And he used that fucking hair serum. for
Yeah,
his
like what are you talking about?
Like,
Living your
y'all
purpose.
listen to
It's
somebody
2025, bro.
Yeah.
I'm hot. Oh yeah, I'm doing the thing. I'm sorry. I'm hot.
It's unfortunate, man, because there are a lot of ways that you can like really through the help of others and talk to other people. You could get out of the you could get out of the male loneliness epidemic. But the way that you don't get out of that is by listening to these motherfuckers. It's so infuriating that some of y'all will come on here and react so defensively when at the end of the day, none of these niggas have your best interest at heart, and fucking Andrew Tate has trafficking and rape charges. Please,
They don't.
shut up.
bro.
Like
They don't.
at a certain time,
remember.
Akademiks is on video.
he has
pushing
charges
women,
too.
yelling at women, all types of shit.
Like I remember seeing this clip on Fresh and Fit because they'll be getting like super chats and shit. This one nigga donated $500 to call one of the girls on that pod a fucking bimbo.
Now
A fucking
So now you're $500 in the shitter, and you just got nothing in return.
And then Marvin Gaines is gonna sit there and tell you, you're not making enough money. Yeah, because you're calling people bimbos.
10,000 a month?
For
That's
500.
Yeah.
I can't.
Now I'm paying
I
one
can't
band a
with
month to
niggas.
do
I
Hustlers
can't.
There's only one.
You niggas
I'ma
are
keep
lying.
it being- yeah, like what? There's not one. I wouldn't say one. There's a lot, right? Shout out all of our counterparts that do good shit for the world. But other than them, like, there's only 4 black men that really contains this shit, bro.
Can
And that's
change the
actually
world.
looking out for you and your best interest as a young man, bro.
The reason why we come
Fact.
on here and we advocate so like adamantly is because, bro, actually we've tried this shit.
Yeah.
You niggas think that
We've been in this
We've
shit.
been
down.
through this
We've
shit.
been through this shit already.
Guys, we've all had
It ain't-
girlfriends.
It ain't
We
no
had
nigga. I'm gonna keep it a stack. It ain't no nigga in this comment section that be talking crazy about us when it comes to like certain shit, right? It ain't no nigga in this comment section I could say that like, yeah, you probably experienced some shit that like I ain't really like in terms of like a life. Okay, if you're like fucking 40, then okay, maybe like you have kids. But other than that, certain like complex idea, I promise you we're there. Because we took the time to do the shit. We've taken the time to actually look into the shit, to actually do the research, but to
And
also
to think
actually
about
self-reflect.
to think about our own thinking.
Yeah,
as well.
like actually.
With that male loneliness shit, I like for a period of time lived that certain life. Nigga, I was isolating myself. I wasn't talking to them for the longest.
Yes,
because I was so in my shit.
Bro, I remember times where it was literal months of us not speaking, years of us not speaking to this nigga Allen.
Yeah.
He'd just be in his room alone.
Just my
that
shit.
was circumstances. Same thing with JJ, same thing with AB, same thing with, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
That's literally how it was.
And do you want to know what the real work is and why people ignore all the time? Because it's the hardest thing. Not listening to these niggas. Not talking bad about yourself. Not getting in the gym. What it really is, bro, is putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like AB said, you can meditate. Go out for walks.
Yeah.
Meet people. Compliment people in their
Find
outfits.
music.
Go to the gym. Find music. Talk to people, bro.
Like, you can do.
You don't
even the gym. You can, and
You can do this shit
stress
there
this,
too.
You can do all of these things without immediately jumping into the deep end of, oh my God, I have to stay in the gym. I have to do. No, bro.
Yeah. Spot
I was
someone,
working out. Like what?
Literally just spot someone.
Spot
Spot
someone.
someone.
Boom. There it is.
That's
You
a
made a
conversation
friend.
right there.
You made a friend.
One thing that I realized too about stepping outside, like the usual self that I was in, it is so easy to get people's numbers and just conversate with people.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from here. You're from here. Okay.
Comfort
cool,
zone.
Cool.
Once you
Hey, let me
start
get
to
your number. Let's talk a little bit more or something.
for social anxiety, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, we gotta wrap it up. But for social anxiety in general, one of the best things you can do as someone who has bad anxiety, I have really bad anxiety. One of the best things you can do, bro, and it sounds crazy, but constantly throw yourself into the uncomfortable situations.
Literally.
Instead of bottling everything up and not talking about things and not do. No. Invite those uncomfortable situations, and you'll see once they start to become more comfortable, bro. One thing, once they start to become more comfortable, like everything turns out better for you. One thing that me and this nigga Alan always do, and I always say this, is I remember when we were in like sophomore year. I think I was chopped in a sense. Like I just wasn't. I just wasn't. I was a kid. What the fuck? I hadn't glowed up. I hadn't grew into my body. All types of shit. And I remember me and Alan would always be on a game, and we'd be like, nigga. We the prettiest niggas here. We 2 man of doom and like, nah, Alan, bro, I ain't gonna lie, Alan, you a cute ass nigga, bro, man, you a cute ass nigga. And there's a lot of niggas that'll be like, whoa, y'all niggas, whoa. First of all, y'all
That's
niggas do
the
10
only
times
thing
worse shit.
that could have stopped some of y'all from going down negative ass
That's
paths.
one, y'all do worse shit. 2, that is the only thing in that time that could have stopped y'all, and that's the only thing that stopped us for doing way worse shit. That did so much for my mental state, not because I was like in love with this nigga fucking out.
Because you're a human
but
that
because
wants
I was like, damn, like, that encouragement felt good. That encouragement felt good from one of my dogs, and we was bouncing off each other energy enough to by the time we were senior year, that confidence radiated off of us already. We was walking around senior year like we was that nigga because we genuinely thought, and it goes back to what I think either Abe or you were saying, putting aside that self-deprecation, right? Putting aside that self-deprecation, we actually were like, nah, we the smoothest niggas, the coldest niggas, the sexiest niggas.
And then as written.
Before we sign out, I want to ask you, and then I'm going to ask you a question. But going back to what he said was like, bro, what it is it's just building those habits of talking nice to yourself. Bro, we all,
nice to yourself, man.
Every single time, like, I think at least now, because we all live together, and like, we always be like, oh yeah, we got this over. Or like, yeah, JJ, you got it. And what it is, it's not only recognizing the truth, but it's also building those habits of, bro, like life is crazy.
And you'll see how life starts to manifest around you.
Yeah.
Bro, we were in Walmart the other day. Shout out, bro. He doesn't know about the JAAM, but one day you will. We was in Walmart the other day, and we're just in a line, standing there. And we usually get stared at everywhere because, like, what we're talking about. We usually get stared at everywhere when it comes to, like, because, like, I guess we don't look normal to be in together, etc. But like even the dude like stops us and he's like, bro, y'all like got a aura, like, no, he didn't say aura, but he was like, y'all got like a vibe going. He was like, y'all got a vibe and a style and and that's what happened
to us when we was in Chicago.
It happened to us when we were in Chicago when we went to the movies with AB. That's one of those things where it's like you start to see a lot of those things start to come out because you're radiating that energy.
And you have to be for real about it. Sometimes it's hard and like, you can be a lone wolf out here, but like when you do get those friends, which you will inevitably need, you have to be real about like, hey, if they're going to give you that environment to thrive, that's all that matters. If they're not going to do that, you have to be militant about having, you have to be militant.
If all your friends do is bash you, say you're dumb, say you're ugly, say find new friends. I did the same thing. Now them niggas in our comments.
That's it.
Word is fuck is we talking about?
Word is bomb. What was something that, what did you do that helped you make yourself more confident and kind of put yourself out there? Especially like being in college to now.
Something that I did that helped me put myself out there was I just kind of like, it's hard for me. I feel like I had a lot more reason to be confident than most people because of the way I like carry myself online, but that obviously doesn't always manifest outside of being online. But I think I just had certain things that I was super passionate about. And I was passionate enough to want to try to at least go see what that opportunity looks like. Like I knew I wanted to do
taking that first step.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do like government stuff and like all types of shit.
Putting yourself out that comfort zone.
So when I went when I went to college, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see what these clubs hidden on. And I went there, and you don't know nobody. First, it's college I'd never been to. And you go there, and even my roommate at the time didn't have the same interests as me, but I still had that confidence to go seek it out on my own. And through that, I met some people, and I settled in, and I got comfortable eventually. And it's gonna feel weird at times. It's gonna feel bad, even when you trying different styles. You might try some bullshit, but like at the end of the day, you have to take steps to get somewhere that's productive. If you sit there and do fucking nothing and listen to these bitch ass niggas, you will be sitting there realizing it at 30.
Healthy bitch ass niggas.
Healthy bitch
ass niggas. Fucking Andrew Tate.
I think JJ was going on trips like last year by himself. I'm seeing
And that
pictures
shit-
of him with random niggas
And
all
that
the time.
shit
I'm
was
like, whoa.
nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing. I came right back and I was like, I don't ever want to go on no trip by myself again.
Every
But
time.
like at the end of the day, I was there, I was doing it, and I could feel good about the fact that I was doing it in that instance. Because I'm like, I know there's a reason why niggas want me here. There's things that I know. I've put in the time because I care about it or whatever. So at the end of the day, I'm just bull with myself and see how I do it. And then good. And then you set the floor where you can surprise yourself instead of letting yourself down all the time.
Yeah, bro.
All the men out here, one thing I need y'all to realize, we're all four living testaments to this shit.
Yeah.
If you put yourself out there, I swear to God, your life will change in ways
Your
you
life will
like
change.
will never.
Bro, when I
It
tell
will
you-
change in life.
Regardless of what you're going through right now.
When I first started social media, and in a sense, it can help you with the outside life too, because when I first started, I didn't show my face like that. I'd always have it like half of my face shown or something because I was insecure about how I looked. But I'm like, bro, if I really want some shit out of this, I gotta show my face.
Got to, bro.
Exactly.
Got to.
And now you want to. There are times where
My
I'm
name's
like,
Avy. Yes, sir.
exactly.
Like,
There are
you gotta
times where
say
I'll
it,
be
bro.
like,
You
I'll go
gotta
a minute
do it.
without posting a video, and I'm like, let me get on there real quick. You gotta see how, because it's like you built that up over
Yeah,
time.
you
You
built that.
don't need to have that now.
feel
I
like
didn't have that at 18. I
feel
didn't
like
have that
when I
at
get on
17.
stream, yeah, exactly.
At all.
I remember my first streams were so fucking nerve-wracking,
So
so
different.
anxiety-inducing. And even now, I still get a lot of anxiety
and
from it,
guess
but it's
what?
completely different reasons now.
And guess what? Now, and I'll close with this. That's okay. Because
Yup.
you're a dude.
You're supposed
Yeah.
to
And
feel that,
you're
bro.
a human being.
You are, bro.
You're not a warrior.
You're not
You're
a
not
warrior.
a fucking soldier.
quite
from
a
1907.
soldier.
You're not,
not
a Greek god. You're a human.
You're not
Bro.
in Polish
Yeah.
and shit. Like, nigga, stop
You
it.
can, bro,
You're not fucking Baki, nigga.
You're not Baki.
You're
Fuck.
not Baki.
Going back
and
to
you
this
can't hate
nigga.
on niggas who watch Baki in the next breath when you
Literally.
trying to be right. Like,
All it is, bro, because I remember what he was saying. Bro, I didn't even want to do this podcast shit because I didn't want my face on the camera. But like, bro, it's just nothing but a day by day effort.
Make
Day by day,
content,
man.
effort, bro. And
Make
keep in
effort.
mind,
Fucking
we're
Richard.
not nigga. We 21.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
if we
And
can
have
crack
one
the
even
code.
21, I'm 25.
And if we can crack the code in our 20s, you don't have to. If you can crack the code in your 20s, you don't have to be Elon Musk at 50 ketamined out.
Yeah.
And with that,
I got a black eye.
You don't gotta be the ketamine bandit and the taco man.
Hit me.
Fucking idiot.
and with that, thank you guys for watching another episode of The Jam.
Announcements.
Oh, yeah.
Before we sign out,
We don't have Final 10, but we do have a special announcement. to
Special
make.
announcement.
I'm not gonna give them the full deets, but we
Don't
have
get into full
we have a very special episode coming up next week on
Yes,
the Jam.
sir.
We have something. I can't tell you what it is. I'm not gonna leak, but it's about to be different.
You don't know
it's
what,
gonna be
you
a-
wanna-
Do I want to announce?
I think we should say like what it
It's
is
gonna
in
be-
a
it's-
sense, but
it's-
just not what it is.
Okay.
I know what you.
I'm
trying to think of it.
I'm just saying.
The anticipation.
So for y'all, we got some plans, something that y'all have been asking us because I be getting the comments about it all the time. We have our first special guest.
How about get on the podcast?
How I get on the pod? We've been ironing shit out the past 16 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
The support has been amazing. We really appreciate y'all.
We're trying to do this as we go.
Trying to do it as we go, learning as we go. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us and everything like that. We do have our first guest coming. Y'all don't know who it is.
Who will it be?
Who will it be?
You have to tune in to the
You gotta
next
tune into
episode.
the next episode.
Y'all have to tune into the next episode, but there's a special video coming
True.
that
Also,
y'all need to stay tuned for.
also some blooper or not even blooper, some background,
some IRA.
some IRL,
IRL.
maybe.
Something.
We don't
Y'all
want-
give it
You
away.
might
Yeah.
The Jam doing it. All June.
Nah, this summer we taking it to a completely different level. We appreciate all the support.
Yep.
Thank you guys so
It's
much.
a,
Make sure
it's a
y'all
hot
subscribe.
jam.
Hot jam summer.
If you didn't already do it, you have to like, comment, share, subscribe. You got to follow the podcast
Where
on
they
Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We gonna throw X in there because it's on there. We got it on down now.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter too.
Acast, Pocket Cast, our Radio Prime. I don't know.
It's
what
still
else
fuck
is.
Elon though.
It's still fuck Elon.
And that's why we got a blue sky. Follow us on
Exactly.
Blue Sky.
Blue
up.
guy's social as well.
You coked out.
Hey,
bitch.
follow everybody as well. Damn. Coked out, bitch.
My fault.
I endorse this method.
No ketamine bandits and no taco mans. No stuff.
Real. Hey, follow
Oh,
everybody.
also, if you do
Solo
happen to be
pages, too.
if you do happen to be addicted to any substance, I hope you get help.
That too.
Elon, fuck you.
Yeah. No.
All right. Yeah, you cutting Medicaid for people. Fuck you.
Keep getting
All right. Thank you guys for watching another episode of The Jam. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Have an awesome day and night wherever you may be. And peace, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Sir.
Thank you for watching this long. If you haven't already, subscribe. What are you doing?
What is you doing?
What are you doing? You think we just sitting here doing it for nothing?
You think you're gonna sit here and not do
Need
shit?
to
Like
eat.
this shit.
What is that? I know you're not subscribed. Click it.
Cool.